place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. The leaves are falling down. Make the cleanup easier on yourself. Save $20 instantly on select Craftsman V20 brushless outdoor power equipment kits. Select Milwaukee Power Tools, buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. And a steal of a deal on an Ace gift card. Free $10 gift card when you buy a $50 gift card.
When you want NFL football on the radio.
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
You know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
AFC East clash, the Jets and Patriots in Foxborough. Drake May is getting MVP chatter. And hey, the Jets are coming off a win. Coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Michigan needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello. Welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on Wednesday. It's Big Win Wednesday. Thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. We're going to be giving away, ready for this? The first time we're announcing this, Red Wings tickets for this Saturday's game against the Sabres. If you want a chance to go see the boys on the ice, the Detroit Red Wings in their centennial season, got a chance to go do it. We're going to give away tickets at 10:15. Again, that's thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. As for the rest of the show, should be pretty fun. I want to start jumping into Lions versus Eagles because I think to start the season, or at least preseason, if you would have said, hey, circle two games, two biggest games of the year for the Lions, this would have been one of them. Maybe you choose the Thanksgiving game just because against the Packers too, going into the season. That's the team that you not fear, but that's the biggest competition the Lions have going in to the season in the NFC North, and that remains true to this day, I feel. So whatever. If you had to make a list of the 3 biggest games for the Lions, this Eagles game was one of them. And then them being Sunday night is a perfect example of why. I know that the Chiefs game was also this big one, but this is conference play. This is going to determine a 1 seed at the end of the season. This and that Rams game a little bit later on in December. So we're going to start previewing that one. I do want to start out by saying welcome to the show, John Vicari. Johnny V.
What's up, dude?
Midland's finest New Yorker. How's it going, man?
I'm good, man.
You
Welcome to the show.
I've
been
on camera.
I've been on the show before.
I know you've been on the show before, but this is the first time you and I have done a show here together, just the two of us, since I don't even know when. It's been a while, but this is like back in the payoff days, in the OG 100.9 The Mid days.
I was thinking about it. I think the last time that we did a show together might have been in West Michigan, Comstock Park, and I think that was the last episode of the payoff.
So many things happened that day.
Really?
A lot of changes happened in life after that day.
That same day.
That was the last day of the payoff. That was the first day of many other things. We were down in GR. Just that was a big day. I forgot about that one. Did the entire was that? No, I don't remember what. Anyway,
no, you're talking about the show that you did when you heard your echo the whole time, right?
Yeah, 20-minute show. I had my AirPods in, listening to music the entire time. That was the last.
I still don't know how he did it, folks. I what was it? I don't think I could have done that. An echo in my ear and music, and you gave a 20-minute show.
Well, the echo was canceled out by the music. I was just listening to music
as
I was talking about the Detroit Tigers.
I don't know how that's possible.
Probably something about. Actually, that was early on. That was when the Tigers were hot. That was when, probably, I don't know, talking about Starrick School or something along those lines. Anyway, here we go.
Here we go.
People already in the YouTube chat asking, why is John not in a banana costume?
Oh, really? That's the question.
I don't think that's going to be just a Halloween thing anymore. That's just John Vicari is the banana. That's how the people know him.
That's my lasting legacy. That's so good.
Ever see a banana walking around Midland? It's probably John. It's probably John Vicari.
Wow.
All right, let's jump right into the show, because I do want to start by recapping something that happened last night, and that would be Michigan basketball's second game of the season. This one against Wake Forest in Detroit in LCA. I don't love that home game gets taken away from either of these two schools, but hey, here we are playing at a neutral site, which is really just a Michigan home game. So, Aday Mara, all the attention coming into the season was on Yaxel Lendeberg. Right? Yaxel Lendeberg goes to the NBA draft, decides to come back. Michigan's the one that picks him up in the portal. He's one of the best prospects in college basketball this season that has already played a season of college basketball. Like, forget all the one-and-dones. Forget Peja Stojakovic's son over at Illinois. I'm talking about the American-born guys that are back in college basketball this season. Yaxel Lendeberg's one of the best guys, number one transfer in the entire 2024 offseason class. Michigan lands him in addition to Elliot Cadeau, Merez Johnson, and Aday Mara. But most of the attention and the reason, a lot of people were picking Michigan to be in the top 10, to be the Big Ten champion at the end of the season, was because of Yaxel Lendeberg. I think through 2 games, it's been very apparent that Aday Mara is the MVP for Michigan on both sides of the ball. Not just offense, not just defense. Both sides of the floor, the team is built around this guy. 18 points last night, goes 8 for 11 from the field. When he catches the ball in the paint and is able to put 2 feet into the paint, it's over. It's 2 points. It's a basket for Michigan every single time, whether he's dishing one out. He had 6 assists last night. That was a career high. Or whether he just goes up and decides to dunk it. This is the new Zach Edey in the Big Ten. This is the new Vlad Golden. But unlike those two guys, I think Aday Mara has a little bit more touch, a little bit more feel, a little bit more, 2025 center skills that are brought to a basketball court that all stem from one guy, and he's a 3-time MVP in the league, Nikola Jokic. And you even heard Jason Benetti kind of compare him to Jokic carefully last night, because whenever you throw a Jokic comparison around, I don't know. I feel like any big guy that can pass gets a Jokic comparison. It's like, all right, let's calm down. Jokic is a 3-time MVP, one of the 15 best players of all time. He gets another ring. I think he's basically in the conversation with Magic and Bird. That is a completely different conversation, though, that we're not jumping into right now. The point is, I think the offense is completely funneling through Aday Mara, and he is the most valuable player. And I think that shows up in the box score with the plus 21. Right, plus 21, he's out there, they're winning, he's off the floor, and Wake Forest was able to make it a really close game. One thing that Wake Forest tried to do to, utilize or go against Michigan, use their strength against them, was, hey, Aday Mara's out here, let's go 5 wide, let's make him guard on the perimeter, put him in a bunch of pick-and-roll actions. It didn't matter. He was blocking shots on the three-point line. He was recovering at the rim and blocking shots there. He had 5 blocks by the end of the game, and another dozen shots that were affected because of his presence and because guys had to, either veer away from the basket and decide not to even shoot it. That's the Wemby stat. Or just throw up a shot that is way out of their rhythm, like the last shot of the game, right? That Wake Forest point guard has to throw it to the rafters so it doesn't get blocked by Aday Mara. Shot doesn't go in. So, yeah, only 5 blocks, but how many shots is he affecting throughout the course of the game? Upwards of 20. He is the MVP on both sides of the ball. Kind of like how Danny Wolf was the best player last season. Yaxel Linderberg might be the best player on the team, but in terms of how Michigan is going to win basketball games, it's going to be getting Aday Mara the ball as much as humanly possible and letting him be a beast in the paint down on defense as well. They started double-teaming him in the second half. It got to him a little bit, but then he was able to find some open guys. Again, a career high in assists, career high in blocks, career high in rebounds. I thought having him out there it made Michigan look like one of the best teams in the country. And I know it's early, but they really do. They look like a powerhouse when he's out there. And they're able to have all these different sort of lineups. This is a very malleable roster. The very first sub of the game was Aday Mara subbing out, and Roddy Gale, who's 6'5", subbing in. You get a 6'5" guy subbing in for a 7'3" guy. That just shows you like the versatility that this roster can bring. If they want to go big, they can do that. That's how they started out the game with Merez Johnson, 6'9", 240, looks like a linebacker. Yaxel Linderberg, we've already went over him, 6'9", all defensive kind of guy, and Mara. And sometimes that looked a little bogged down, but just the sheer size that they're able to bring to the table there was outstanding. And then the first sub to bring Roddy Gale in, you get a little bit more shooting, you go way smaller. Yaxel Linderberg's all of a sudden the 5. I would like to see a little bit more of that because there was a few times last night, like defensively down the stretch. Obviously, this game gets way closer than we anticipated it being down the end. Overtime win for the Wolverines. I don't even think I mentioned that yet. But there's a defensive possession where the lineup they roll out there is Elliot Cadeau, more on him later, Roddy Gale, Merez Johnson, Trey McKinney, the freshman, and Yada Mara. And I'm like, why is Yaxel Linderberg not in right now? This is a guy who's back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year in the American Conference. This is a guy who's, if he was Defensive Player of the Year, he was all defense too in that conference. So this is a guy who brings a ton of length and speed and agility to the table. I'm just confused as to why he wasn't out there on a defensive possession. And maybe that's part of the hand injury that had him coming off the bench in the opener. But I don't know. I just kind of doubt it because in the next possession, on an offensive possession, he was in. It was Elliot Cadeau, Roddy Gale, Merez Johnson Jr., Yaxel Linderberg, and Aday Mara, which also made no sense because, look, I love Merez Johnson Jr., but there's just not enough offense there if this is coming down to the final possession. Why do you have a guy out there who's just, he's out there to grab offensive rebounds, but you'd much rather have a Burnett who started the game and then just never really, he had 16 minutes by the end of it. It was weird. It's like they didn't want to play him for some reason. So I do think there's a ton of versatility in this lineup. It's a deep roster, much deeper than it was last season. I didn't love how Dusty May utilized the depth and how he utilized the different pieces yesterday. But again, it's early. You get a win, you're going to take the win and not complain about it, even though it was a lot closer than it needed to be. Because you have to remember, these guys, it's not a team yet. This is an individual collection of players. You got 4 guys playing a very serious role starting on the team that were not here last season. The only guy who's still here is Namari Burnett and Will Cheddar. This isn't a team yet. It's a collection of guys, and they're still finding ways to win basketball games. Yeah, they didn't cover. Sorry if you had that. But this is a learning opportunity, and you picked up a win in the process. You'll take that in November, this time of season. So Yaxel Lendeberg, I didn't think was very aggressive on the offensive end. Which is funny because at the end of the game, you look at the box score, and he actually led the team in field goal attempts. But the entire time in the second half, when Michigan's ice cold, they're 0 for 11 from downtown at one point in the second half, I'm just waiting for Yaxel Lendeberg to kind of take over. And I never even felt like he tried to do that. 12 field goal attempts leads the team, but I feel like 6 or 7 of those were in transition, just pushing the break, which you got to give him credit for. He's willing to run the floor. He gets out ahead, and people get him the ball. And he had a couple transition dunks, and it looks awesome, spectacular. It's part of the reason Michigan's playing at such a high pace right now. Third highest in the Big Ten. But I was waiting for him to kind of take over in the half court, and I think he gets the benefit of the doubt for right now because of that hand injury that he's still coming back from, and also because he's so used to being the best player on the floor by a long shot in the American Conference over at UAB. He's used to having to take over. Now he's got a bunch of talented players around him. I still think he's the most interesting prospect on the team, but like I said, this team is going to funnel through Aday Mara. So I think he's still getting accustomed to, hey, I'm not trying to be a selfish player. This isn't my team anymore. This is our team. And I think you got to let him get accustomed to that a little bit before we start knocking him. But it is something I'm going to be monitoring. Can he take over a game on offense in the half court? Because we're yet to see that from a guy who was viewed as this enormous get for Dusty May in the program. Part of that might be the spacing as well. I'd like to see more minutes of him as the 5 rather than playing the 3 or the 4 with Aday Mara and Merez Johnson on the floor at the same time. Because I would just play him at the 4 to start the game and have Merez Johnson Jr. come off the bench, who's like a linebacker. Elliot Cadeau. This seemed like much more of a true point guard in the opener against Oakland. It's like, hey, this guy double-digit assists. You no longer have to watch Trey Donaldson dribble the air out of the ball when the game was on the line. He couldn't get the ball to some of his teammates. It felt like Trey Donaldson, if he got 4 assists, it was a miracle. Elliot Cadeau was aggressive last night in taking shots. And he made his shots. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Filled up the stat sheet, 2 for 5 from behind the arc. Not going to complain about that. But it's something I'm going to monitor. The point guard looked very happy to be taking shots. And in my opinion, I think the point guard needs to pass. At least for this Michigan team that has talent everywhere else. And don't get me wrong, Elliot Cadeau is an infinitely better passer than Trey Donaldson was. Trey Donaldson, I think, viewed passing as a weakness. Elliot Cadeau is a good facilitator, good vision, but was a little shot happy last night. And it was working. So not going to complain about it too much. Just something I'm monitoring. I did see a lot of people talking about how, hey, this lack of defense that Michigan's playing is going to be a problem. And you look at the 2 scores from their first 2 games. They've allowed 84 and 78 points. Not great. Wake Forest shot 34% last night. Oakland shot 42%. That's very good. The problem is they're fouling too much. Wake Forest had 21 free throw attempts. Oakland had 26. And the problem is they had 17 turnovers last night versus Oakland. Or last night versus Wake Forest. That's going to lead to some easy baskets for the other team. So, look, in the half court, I think this defense is completely fine. It did get a little sloppy in the second half on both sides. I think part of that is playing your way into shape. When you play as fast as Michigan does, again, it's the 3rd fastest pace in the Big Ten, you're going to run out of gas a little bit at the beginning of the season. So I think part of it's getting these guys in shape as the season goes on. Part of it is, getting used to playing with each other and communicating, which you don't see from a Tom Izzo Spartan team. But again, those guys have played together for a few years. It's much more of a team than a collection of talent, which I think is where Michigan mostly is right now. They're going to be fine. This is an awesome basketball team. It was a lot closer than you maybe anticipated yesterday. But again, it's November. You learn from it. You pick up a win in the process. Michigan fans should feel nothing but excitement about that win and about the collection of talent that this team has that's morphing more into a team every single day. 989-837-6125. Your thoughts on Michigan's win against Wake Forest. We'll do that and a lot more Lions conversations to come. And maybe one Pistons one as well. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. 9 o'clock hour as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Ironstack Technologies. Strong businesses, well, they need strong tech, and that's where Ironstack comes in. Locally owned in Midland, they keep your IT rock solid, from cybersecurity to cloud services and everything in between. Think of them as like an invisible backbone to your business. No capes, just smarter solutions. Whether you're a small shop, growing company, Ironstack makes sure your tech doesn't crumble under pressure. Ironstack Technologies, strong, steady, and built to keep you moving forward.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Ironstack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronstackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Ironstack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top-quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
AFC East clash, the Jets and Patriots in Foxborough. Drake May is getting MVP chatter. And hey, the Jets are coming off a win. Coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mid. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mid is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
(989) 837-6125. Michigan picks up a win last night. They're 2-0. They avoid a disastrous loss. Hey, anytime you can pick up a win in November on a neutral site, I view that as a win. I don't know how you can view it as anything else. Did it look pretty? No. Were they pretty ugly in the second half? Yes. Did they look like a mess without Aday on the floor? Sure. But a win's a win. And they're figuring out ways to win together because, again, it's a team that has played 2 games together at this point. It's going to take a little bit for them to hit their ceilings.
Yeah, I'm always amazed by the current landscape of college basketball where it's really, again, all transfers and that they mesh so well. That's what I saw last night. I mean, you're going to go after them based on the fouls because, yeah, too many free throws to Oakland, the opener, too many to Wake Forest. But they were able to draw the fouls. I mean, that's what it came down to in the end. Mara's presence leading to Sellers fouling out of the game for Wake Forest was really, I think, the turning point of why they were down because, it was a feel-good win for the Wolverines. But, I mean, you were down 7 with under 5 to go. It was concerning. You had to go on that big run if you're the Wolverines to kind of crawl back into it. It wasn't locked by any means. It wasn't a game where they were kind of leading the whole way and Wake Forest cut it close. Wake Forest, claimed the lead from them. But the fact that I think down low, the Mara was just such a presence. It meant Wake Forest was over-aggressive in their front court, grabbing rebounds, and then that led to them fouling out, at least for Sellers. And no one was really in foul trouble, with the exception of Cadeau late for Michigan. So I thought that was a pretty big thing. And then I loved watching Cadeau just because, and I put this in the sheet, and I don't know if you were following along while we were watching together, but we weren't watching together in the same place, but I was on the sheet, you were on the sheet, and watching the game. Cadeau is just so much fun to watch because it's just you don't know what he's going to do with the ball. That pass off the shoulder of his own player. Like, you talked about how he was too shot happy. When I was watching in the final minutes, I thought he was too pass happy at times. And he's the point guard. He's supposed to bring it up the floor. No one else is expecting a pass. He hits it off that guy's shoulder, and Wake Forest almost comes in. And,
when he just chucked it at Lindenberg?
Yeah.
There was like a 2-minute stretch there where no one could catch the ball, and it looked like fifth graders playing at the Y League. It was insane.
That was crazy. Cadeau, he automatically became my favorite player just because of how just because of his play style, man. Again, the first half, a lot of shooting, and then in the second half, just passing it every time he got it for the game tying shot in the fourth too. But that was fun. I will say this: 2 things, by the way, last night. You mentioned that's a neutral site game. I don't know how Wake Forest schedules that, and it's a neutral ranking in the net. I understand the kids aren't on campus, and I wish it was at the Chrysler Center rather than Detroit. That's a home game. Yeah, that's a tough draw if you're Wake Forest, where in terms of the advanced stats that the committee goes by, that's going to be considered a neutral site. I get putting their logo on the floor, but that is not a neutral site game in Detroit when you're playing a Michigan team.
It's not as hostile as it would be, though, right?
Yes. It wasn't a full house. It wasn't a full house. The whole upper deck was empty, but they got loud towards the end. The other thing, the amount of in-studio updates during that game in overtime.
Oh, for the Illinois game?
Oh, my gosh. I was getting so angry. It's one thing if you're FS1 that you're going to say, okay, the next game is our game because it's Illinois, it's Texas Tech, it's a top 15 matchup with 2 schools. I get all that. But then why are Benetti and Raft on this game? You put Jeff Levering and Steve Smith on the other game. This is your big game. I don't care what's happening in the first half of Texas Tech, Illinois when this game's in overtime. And they went to the studio update maybe 3 or 4 times.
Oh, we need constant updates on Peja Stojakovic's kid and how he's playing for Illinois.
And you do care if you're a Michigan fan, right? Because Illinois is in the Big Ten. But oh my gosh, I was just sitting there like, stop cutting to the studio. I do not care. If I wanted to go to that game, I'd go to FS2. I'm staying here because I want to watch Michigan, man. But yeah, those were my complaints. But I mean, in terms of concern last night, if that's where you want to go with this,
I don't think there's anything I'm really big picture concerned about.
I'm not. You lose that game. Obviously, it's a different story. But and the sloppiness down the end or down the the last minutes of the
basketball.
game. That's what it was, and that's what it was on Wake Forest's side too.
I see people complaining about the defense. They're 10th right now in defensive rating in the country.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're fine.
I know you don't want to settle for 3 if you're Wake Forest. I don't know how the final possession that they had and their final possession in overtime, the regulation and overtime, were both drives up the middle straight at the 7'3" guy. I really don't.
You know what was worse? Michigan's attempt to get a shot off before they went into overtime, where they just threw the ball to the other team, to Wake Forest, and then Wake Forest got to shoot a half-court shot to try to. I was like, what was that? You had 2 timeouts just to draw that up? God, Dusty. Okay, but I will say, I mentioned this in the open too. Aday Mara's passing, just like really, really high-level stuff from a 7'3" guy who can just see over everybody. That play that Dusty made designed out of a timeout where Aday Mara was standing at the three-point line and throws a lob to Yaxel Lindenberg at the rim. If you've got a 7-footer who can throw a lob to another guy in your front court from the three-point line, you're going to cause some other teams some problems this season.
Yeah, I mean, he is that NBA big. Like you can make comparisons, to certain guys, but that's the play style. He's coming over from Spain. I'm pretty sure was playing in a pro league, or was playing against guys older than him in Spain. I think I heard on the broadcast. I might be recalling that
Sounds
wrong,
right.
But yeah, he is just spectacular to watch, and he just gives you so much more than most big men in the country. And like you said, you're not going to call him Joker yet, obviously, but in terms of the college level, I don't know if there's another guy like that. Because, I mean, he's a better passer than Golden was.
For sure. Maybe not quite as much as Wolf, but
yeah,
he's
but
just
Wolf's
not
a different
as
player.
Yeah.
And I also I know he didn't shoot a 3 last night, but the fact that he's fine passing in the backcourt, he impressed me a lot.
Well, he shot a couple threes in the open.
Oh, did
in
he?
The opener?
I didn't know that. Make any?
No, I don't think so. But he's also never shot a 3 before this season.
Oh, really?
Golden was the same way. He had never attempted a 3 before he went to Michigan, which is funny because he played for Dusty May, so I don't know what changed in the last season. But same with Merez Johnson. He had never attempted a 3 before the opener.
Wow.
Dusty May's just letting everyone rip it. It doesn't matter. And if they're going to play those 3 bigs at the same time, they have to be shooters, right? They have to be able to space the floor. So the only issue I think I have with this team right now is the turnovers. That just 17 of them can't happen. It's sloppy down the stretch. I think they can clean it up. But this was a huge problem last year that hindered their ability to go on a long run, I think. And, I think a lot of that was how much they were put the ball in Wolf's hands and how much Donaldson wasn't really a true point guard, more of a 2-guard, a scoring guard. But I think Cadeau's a good point guard,
I liked him.
He was a little Hunt happy last night, but he's a good facilitator.
Yeah, he's good. They're just an exciting team to watch. I'm glad for. I mean, again, just from a more neutral, not as passionate, I guess, in terms of already being in line with these two teams, Michigan State and UM. It's going to be 2 epic classics again. I can't wait. Long ways away, but yeah.
989-837-6125. We'll hit the news when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt. As always, brought to you by our friends at Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you got a leaky roof, storm damage, the siding's looking a little tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Hey, sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan, featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, 989-837-6125. Give it about 45 minutes, and we will send someone to the Detroit Red Wings game this Saturday, going up against the Sabres. Should be a good game, should be a big one. So that is at 10:15, thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet. You know, the thing with the Wings, last year they were this incredible power play team, right? It felt like the only way they could really score. And they weren't really great in the 5-on-5. This year, in their last 20 power play opportunities, they're 1 for 20. That's got to get cleaned up. So that's what I'll be looking for over their next couple of games. And you got a chance to go to LCA this Saturday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. All you got to do is text in the keyword to 989-837-6125. That is at 10:15. We'll give you the keyword then. All right, let's hit the mid-morning catch.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Oh, what a time. The mid-morning catch. I had a lot of fun with this with Kyle. We'll see if Ben is as fun. Oh, he's already gone. That's great. Now he's back. Just kidding.
I was trying to grab a charger for my computer, and I did not make it in time. It is shutting down as we speak.
That's, you know what? I mean, could have been prevented. That's something you have learned definitely from Brad. Why have a computer charger, you know? Just hope John or someone else comes through and my computer doesn't die. The amount of times his computer would die during a Loons game was pretty amazing. Anyway, as Ben gets his computer up, I'll tell you what else happened to college basketball last night. We've been talking about Michigan, who beat Wake Forest 85-84 in overtime at LCA. That game that they wanted us so desperately to watch, top 25 matchup after Illinois 81, Texas Tech 77, so 2 wins for 2 teams in the Big Ten within the top 15. And how about this? Duke played at Army last night. It was the first time in 28 years that a Power 5 school played at West Point. Duke, of course, destroyed Army 114-59.
This was not nice. On Veterans Day, Duke shows up and starts full court pressing them right from the jump. That was not very nice.
Well, they honored Coach K, but Duke's got to come in and get a win. The one thing I'll say, Ben, the question I pose to you, because when I think of West Point and Army basketball specifically, it's the only place that I've sat courtside for a basketball game that I wasn't working. I went to a Maritime West Point game because my buddy played for Maritime, a D3 school, and they played Army in like a scrimmage or exhibition game, and I was sitting courtside. Have you ever sat courtside for a game that you weren't working? PA does not count.
No.
Loser. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Not in any exciting game.
All right.
That would be fun though. It's like my dream to sit courtside at an NBA game, like a playoff game. It doesn't even have to be a finals game, but a playoff game in some way. I think that's better than any ticket, like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, like whatever. Just being courtside at an NBA playoff game, I don't think it gets better than that. That's the best ticket in sports.
We'll have to pull some strings. It'll be you and Chalamet for Knicks Pistons in June or May.
Yeah, it'll be me, Chalamet. I'll be sitting between him and Spike Lee.
Wow. It's a pretty good sandwich, I guess. Anyway, you're holding a football. You're wearing a Central Michigan shirt. Let's talk a little college ball. CFP rankings came out last night. And I guess really no surprises, right? Ohio State's 1, Indiana's 2, Texas A&M is 3, and Alabama is number 4. In terms of other Big Ten teams within the college football playoff rankings, you got the Ducks of Oregon at 8. USC is 17. They'll play Iowa, who's 21 this week. And, of course, the Wolverines are ranked 18th.
I actually thought there was I think there is a halfway decent shot that the Big Ten only has 2 teams. More on that later.
And it's just Ohio State Indy?
Well, yeah. I'll tell you the avenue for that a little bit later on.
All right. That's a good tease in the biz. Other college football news tonight, some Tuesday night action. Let's go.
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday. It is Wednesday. I want action tonight. CMU, Buffalo, 2 5-4 teams. Ben was telling me off air he is so excited for this game between good old SUNY Buff, bro, and CMU. If they get a win tonight at home, 7 p.m. kick there, they'll be able to be top 3 in the MAC with 2 games left, and one of them being Kent State, so that should be a layup. Big time game for the Chippewas tonight.
Is that on ESPN?
CBS Sports Network, I believe. Let's check it. Yes, CBS Sports Network. that was your thoughts. Was it on ESPN? All right, something I know you will be interested in. How about this? The NBA All-Star Game reformat. That's news that came down. It's USA against the world, which is, fun based on the amount of, worldly talent that you got in the association. It's going to be a 3-team, 8-man rosters, and the fans, media, and players are going to pick the starters. They're positionless, though. So if the fans, the media, and the players have, 4 guards and a center, that's what the starting lineup's going to be for the specific teams. Coaches will pick the reserves. What's a unique note with this is that they have to get to the minimum 16 Americans, 8 international players, and if that doesn't figure itself out, then Silver kind of just names the extra players to the All-Star game to fit this quota. I don't think it's going to be an issue just based on, again, the amount of talent of international players. But, all right, yeah, you don't hit the number. A guy's just going to get in even though he's not deserving?
I suppose. Look, they're not going to have a problem finding the international guys. Even off the top of my head, it's 5 teams of 8, you said?
It's 3 teams of 8. It's 24 players, 3 teams of 8.
Okay, so 3 teams of 8. If one of them's a world team, I don't know who's beating Giannis, Jokic, Wemby, and Shea. Those are you could in Luka. Mm-hmm. You could say those are. I actually do think those are the 5 best players in the NBA right now. Mm-hmm. So a starting 5 of those 3 with basically Wemby as your 3-man, Giannis as your 4, Jokic as your 5, Luka as your 2, Shea as your 1. Yeah, good luck any other team that the United States can put together. You could put the old guys from the Olympic team. You could do the young guys. It's not going to matter. I don't think anybody's beating that team.
Well, are they going to care?
They're going to care when they look up at the scoreboard and they're getting their butts kicked.
You think this new format's going to bring a little more passion just because you're playing for, at least from the American perspective, your country?
I think it brings more passion. I don't know if that's enough to satisfy people, but I also think that people's expectation for the All-Star game are just out of this world at this point.
All right. Final thing with that, NBC is actually going to air it at 5 p.m. on the Sunday that it's scheduled for in February. Usually it's a primetime dealio, but NBC is going to air it at 5, which is interesting. It's actually going to be a great day in terms of programming for NBC. They're coupling it with the Olympics and obviously their Super Bowl coverage, which is in February too. But there's going to be a USA hockey game right before it in the Olympics into the NBA All-Star game. So they're going to get me, Ben, because I'll be watching the USA hockey game, and then I'll be like, you know what? Am I lazy enough? Or, I'll probably be too lazy to turn the channel, so then I'll watch the NBA All-Star game. So they're going to get me. They're going to get me.
Perfect.
There you go.
NBA and NBC doing wonders for the world.
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how they kind of retool it, and that was Adam Silver's thought process with this. It needs a little more energy into it.
What are his thought process on, the ongoing scandal with the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard? What about the ongoing investigation to a head coach gambling on? What about those things, Adam Silver? Any updates on that kind of stuff?
Let me check. Nope, none I could report
Kawhi's
to you.
still playing. He got paid under the table.
Come on, it's Steve Ballmer. He's never done anything wrong. Look at his bald head. Look how excited he gets. Oh, my goodness. That's so much fun.
Billionaires never do anything wrong.
No, of course not. Well, that's the mid-morning catch, ending on that positive note.
All right. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9. The Mitt. Seasons are changing, and when they do, Maple Hill is still hard at work for you. They offer professional snow plowing to keep your driveway clear, plus spring and fall cleanup to get your yard looking its best year-round. When things warm up, their mowing services keep your lawn in shape all summer long, from winter to spring and everything in between. Maple Hill Nursery is your all-season lawn and landscape partner right here in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
The Dow Chargers are on to the regional round. Fresh off their first district title since 2015, they host the defending Division II champions, St. Mary's of Orchard Lake. Dow and Orchard Lake St. Mary's, pregame coverage at 6:50 Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford. From Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mid is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat. From Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a two-hearted ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red. Let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
989-837-6125. I was, before we get into the Lions, I was looking at the Pistons injury report, as I often do, and I noticed a few things. Isaiah Stewart, still a game-time decision that was updated today with the ankle injury that kept him out of Monday's game. Tobias Harris, it looks like, is going to be out until November 24th at the earliest. Cade Cunningham, questionable game-time decision with a hip. Duren, game-time decision with an ankle. Asar Thompson, this is the key. Looks like he's going to be out until November 14th, which is Friday. You know what that tells me? They're throwing in the towel for tonight, getting ready for Friday, in-season tournament, game number 2, chance to go 2-0, and knock Philadelphia out of this thing since they already have one loss that happened yesterday. They're debuting the teal jerseys, the new black and teal jerseys. They've got the fire horse back as their midcourt logo today. I think they're going to be without their franchise player. I think they're going to be without everybody. I think they're throwing in the towel, and I'm actually totally okay with this. You know, you've won 7 games in a row. You were not supposed to win on Monday. You were without everyone. Your star player gets hurt in the middle of it, and he still wills you to a victory. If they happen to lose their second straight game to the Bulls, because they lost to the Bulls opening night, if this happens to be the game they lose, and it means they get healthier for Friday's in-season tournament game, I'm okay with it. And I know everyone has their differing opinions on load management. I don't even think this is load management. I think everyone is genuinely hurt. Maybe Cade could play today. You know what would be better for the franchise player after a game where he took 45 shots and had to do everything? Giving him not just a day off, but to get healthy, because he took a pretty hard fall on Monday. It landed right on his tailbone. I can't imagine that feels very good or is healed up by now. So I kind of, just based on the Asar thing of, hey, he'll be back Friday, I'm kind of anticipating them being like, you know what? Let's get the loss out of the way. Friday's more important. I don't know how much people care about the in-season tournament. I don't know if it's worked to the degree that Adam Silver wanted it to, but it's certainly giving the NBA players and these young teams, specifically like the Pistons, something to play for. And you can see, especially these young teams, and honestly, even the veterans ones too, because the first 2 seasons of the in-season tournament, they've been won by veteran squads. The teams care about it. So you want meaningful games in December? It worked from that standpoint. Pistons care about it. You're getting, I'm not going to call it playoff basketball, but I don't know, 50% of that. Games here in November, December. I'm ready to go all in on Friday's game.
Well, that's nice. I mean, if you have tickets tonight, you're kind of like, great. Thanks. I mean, this is the new landscape, and I guess you got to be, public service announcement smarter as a fan. If it's the game before an in-season tournament, maybe don't buy those tickets, and maybe they'll get the point that, hey, maybe we should start playing these players. Good. The only way they're going to learn is if, the LCA is 80% full because, I mean, logic standpoint, they have a day off between every game. This is the second game tonight against the Bulls of a 4-game homestand under, no reason besides, again, this in-season tournament, I guess, being more valuable. Would you ever rest the guy who's again, healthy? I understand Kay got hurt on.
All these guys are hurt. It's not like any of them are just getting days off.
I get it. But I mean, it's just a different sport. I just from that perspective, why you'd invest in this team in terms of as a fan to go down there, I wouldn't do it. If you have to know the schedule. If it's before an in-season tournament team, know that they're going to try and get everything right for that in-season tournament game. And tonight, doesn't matter. They're telling you that if that's the decision that they make. If Cade can play, again, you'll never know, and maybe he'll be injured enough where he shouldn't, and they'll give him Friday. But there's only 41 of these, in a given season. It's
40 with the Mexico game.
It's not like, and yeah, that's a good point. And you could talk about, too, like, it would have been more sense to rest him, and I know certain players were injured and didn't play that second of a back-to-back. That makes more sense. A day off, you should play what you have. And the question for you is, are these front offices and the coaching staff, maybe even more J.B. Bickerstaff than anyone else, is there incentive for him to win the in-season tournament above all else in terms of, all right, Cade's not going to play, so I win the in-season tournament? Like, is there a benefit for him
for the
that?
coaching staff specifically?
Yeah,
I think they also get part of the every player gets $500,000. I believe the coach gets a cash award too, which I know the fans don't really care about, but
no, the fans should. That's my point here, right? Like, you guys bring it up, and listen, I get it. You want important, impactful basketball in the non-playoff months. I remember one of the payoffs with you and Kyle, and you guys were so excited ahead of that first in-season tournament game and talking about it.
No, it was the last one.
Or
was
the last one?
They were 3-0, and if they won, they got to go to the in-season, the knockout stage, and Milwaukee just
that was
shoved the Pistons' face right into the dirt.
Yeah, I remember driving back from somewhere listening to your guys' show, and I get it, and it gives more value to the fans, but if I'm a Pistons fan, if I'm a Pistons season ticket holder, I want them playing every home game possible. I don't value the in-season tournament above all else. It's still like, are they going to hang a banner if they win the in-season tournament?
Probably not.
Like, so
they don't have any division or conference titles hanging in LCA, so probably not.
Yeah,
I checked this morning.
Like my standpoint is play for my money, right? I'm a hardworking person. I'm going to the game. Entertain me for that, I like the adding this in-season. I'm just out on the in-season tournament, and maybe if I were more of a basketball fan, I would be in on it and understanding this. But there's not the care level enough for me where I'm like, it makes sense that Cade is not playing tonight. If I'm a Pistons fan, I want to see Cade.
Well,
I think Cade every game.
I think it benefits, and you're right. Like, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong about that part of it, but I think there is a beneficiary to the young teams playing in these sort of games where there is a lot on the line, and it's like an elimination game. Because you look at the players or the teams that have participated in the championship in 2023, it was the Lakers and the Pacers. Lakers didn't amount to anything, but that was like back against the wall, do or die game for the Pacers. Even if it's somewhat insignificant to you as a fan, that's a huge coaching experience and a huge learning experience for the team. They end up going to an Eastern Conference Finals that season. They end up going to the finals the very next year. Last year it was the Thunder who made it all the way. Played the Bucks, lost. Am I going to say the Thunder wouldn't have won the NBA title last year if they didn't face that loss in the in-season tournament? No, but it was just a little bit more like playoff level experience for that kind of team, and for a team that really lacks it, like the Detroit Pistons. I know they had the 6 games last year, and I'm sure you learned more from that than anything in the in-season tournament. But to get that kind of back against the wall elimination game style of play in December, I just think is good for these young teams, and I think you've seen it over the last 2 years with the Thunder and the Pacers going all the way there and then having tremendous success in the playoffs because they're at least, like, even if you're a first-round exit, you make the in-season tournament out of group play and you're a first-round exit. It's something to kind of be like, that's what it's like. When teams step it up a notch and start playing at a different level than just regular season play, that's what it's going to be like, guys. Now that the Pistons have been in the postseason, I think it's not as meaningful, but still meaningful nonetheless.
Yeah,
I think it helps him in April.
No, it does. It does. Like, I just don't like that coming at the cost of, okay, Cade doesn't play tonight. That's my point.
I think even if there wasn't an in-season tournament game on Friday, though, there's a chance Cade doesn't play it. He took a nasty fall.
Okay,
man.
so I mean that's a different story then. But like how you structured it in the preamble was, you rather have him for Friday than Wednesday. It's like I'd rather have him right now. I'd rather have him every game.
Oh, in an ideal world, yeah, I'd rather have him every game. But these teams are just going to be smart about it. That's the thing I hate about the Michael Jordan throwing everybody under the bus for load management. It's not the players deciding whether or not they're playing or not, unless it's like Kawhi back in like the Spurs days. Mm-hmm. Like that was the epitome of load management. It's the teams understanding like we have to have our guys healthy in April.
Yeah.
Like if these guys are hurt, and again, Cade's not just resting to rest. If Cade's not 100%, what's the point of throwing him out there and him potentially making his tailbone injury or hip injury? It's listed as a hip, but what's the point of making it worse? What's the point of playing on a sprained ankle if you know it's just not going to get better if you play on it? And I know these guys from the 90s are so tough, but like these teams, they're trying to be smart about this stuff. The real problem is there's too many games. If there were 72 games, guess what? There wouldn't be a need for an in-season tournament because every game would matter like 10% more.
You don't think there'd be maintenance days with 72 games?
Not as much. Every game would matter way more.
I don't know. If there was no in-season tournament, I agree. I guess from that perspective. I just, what was it? Like,
let's just put it this way. If there was only 72 games and the Pistons started 9-2, like we're already talking about them as a top 3 seed. Now it's like,
Sure.
oh, there's a ton of games left. But if you eliminate 10 games and you have this sort of start, it's like, holy cow, like we're already a seventh of the way through the season. I don't know. I think it would have made a difference. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live right here on 100.9 The Mid. 10 o'clock hour on the way. I want to talk about the Detroit Lions and their game against the Philadelphia Eagles coming up here. Let's just put it this way. Do you think it's a must-win game? We'll answer that question, start previewing the game a little bit when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live right here on 100.9 The Mid, 989-837-6125. Live on YouTube as well. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be right back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. If you are a business or a nonprofit organization wondering how to navigate today's technologies landscape, let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
The Dow Chargers are on to the regional round. Fresh off their first district title since 2015, they host the defending Division II champions, St. Mary's of Orchard Lake. Dow and Orchard Lake St. Mary's, pregame coverage at 6:50 Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mid.
The Mid.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mid at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mid.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mid is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Early thoughts on the Lions' chances in Philadelphia. They're going into this one as 2.5-point underdogs in what's one of the more hostile environments in the entire NFL. 15 minutes away from our Detroit Red Wings giveaway, by the way, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. Give the keyword to that in about 15 minutes. But look, the Lions going to Philly. Philly hasn't been this world beater that we've known them to be. They haven't necessarily looked like a Super Bowl champion. But with that being said, if we're doing resumes, like college football rankings, I'd argue Philly might just be number one. Rams, Bucks, Chiefs, Packers, all wins that they've accustomed. And people say their offense is struggling. I'd agree. Saquon's not necessarily having his best season. A.J. Brown, it seems like he's angry every single week because he's only getting 50 yards a game, but they've scored 33-plus times, which is more than you'd anticipate based on the conversations around them. It's still a super talented team. Maybe they're not blowing everyone out of the water the way that the Lions are capable of, but this is kind of the football that Philadelphia wants to play. They want to muck it up. They want it to be a close game. They want to play the time of possession game and limit your opportunities to score. I think it frustrates other teams that they hold on to the ball for so long and play the field position game, and all of a sudden, like, you've only had 2 possessions in the second half, and there's 5 minutes left in the game. You have to be perfect to play against Philly and win against Philly, and you saw that on Sunday night or Monday night against or in Lambeau when the Packers weren't able to get it done. So, look, the stats aren't outstanding. Philly's still one of the best teams in the NFL. But that being said, they've got some weaknesses. Their starting center hasn't played in weeks, Juergens. Sounds like he might not play again this week against the Lions. They've struggled to run the ball this season. The Lions obviously are one of the better teams in the NFL and have been for the better part of the last 5 years at stopping that run. The secret about Philadelphia, and it's not so much a secret anymore, they don't really have a pass rush. They have 19 sacks this season. And there's a reason that they're trading for Jalen Phillips. There's a reason that they're asking Brandon Graham to come out of retirement. Darius Smith retires in the middle of the year. 19 sacks is the 9th least in the NFL this season. But their secondary has been outstanding. 58% opponent completion percentage, which is top of the NFL. Quarterbacks just don't complete passes against this Philadelphia team. Jared Goff is the epitome of high completion percentage, efficient passer. Not necessarily taking deep shots this season. That's okay. They're able to pick up chunk yards, 8 yards at a play, or 8 yards a pass. You'll take those kind of chunk plays against this Philadelphia team. Take any points you can. I think this is going to be a great game. It's Sunday night, early on in this week. We still got a day before our spread picks. On the road is tough, but I think I like this Lions team. I think they're ready to expose some of these Philadelphia weaknesses.
You mentioned the secondary. That's the, I think, biggest concern if you're a Lions fan, just based on how good they are. And as you mentioned, taking away things over the top, and that's just not the Lions in terms of, the deep pass plays. Not that they can't tap into that, but it's been, the underneath and then your receivers creating. Philly limits that over the top. They're going to know, all right, the short pass game is what we have to stop and really not account for. Not account for, but not have to worry and stress as much with the over the top. They're going to cheat as a secondary, and even without that pass rush, will the throwing lanes be there? That's my concern. Also, and this is just, a bigger thought, regardless of the opponent, the outdoors with Goff, right? And it's going to be cold weather and everything like that. It's really the first test of that. Not that the Commanders was, 70 degrees and in the sun, but the weather conditions weren't as adverse. So that's something to look for this game. It's on the road, Lincoln Financial Field. But hey, you could say that playing outdoors. You could also say, hey, the Lions on prime time just go to this different level, right? Whether it was in Baltimore earlier this season, which is a good comparison in terms of being on the road and everything like that. So the main concern is, again, the passing lanes for Goff, and then establishing the run itself. We'll talk about the secondaries for both sides, and if A.J. Brown has this big game, or if Goff's able to do what he can do, whatever team runs the ball better, too. Because the way you can keep this Eagles offense and losing time of possession is if Gibbs and Montgomery's combo, kind of like we saw last week, could just run it down their throats and just keep that ball. That's going to be big when looking at this matchup, if they can do that. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. Nothing, as you said, jumps out to you about the Eagles. Like, the Eagles on paper just aren't world beaters, but they find ways to win. It's a frustrating watch always. That Monday night game, just if you like defense, that's great. If you like checkdowns, and then the Eagles just have to make one big play and distance themselves. They're kind of like the Chiefs of last year in a way, where all these games come down to the wire, but they win these games that come down to the wire. I don't think they're in the class of how we evaluated Kansas City last year, where it's like, oh, are they fraudulent? Are they not? Is this sustainable? Is it not? Just because our eyes are kind of looking at, like, wow, the Colts are 8-2 and the Broncos are 8-2 and the Bears are 6-3. So there's distractions.
Whole bunch of fraudulent teams.
That's what I'm saying. So we value the Eagles, and they are defending Super Bowl champions. But if they didn't have the cachet that Philadelphia has, I think we'd kind of be, poking some holes into what we've seen from them. But they're the Eagles. It's Lincoln Financial Field. It's a tough atmosphere to play in. It's a bruising defense. It's going to be a task for the Lions. But I mean, if we're going to list the three keys, it's if the passing lanes are there, Goff outdoors, and establishing the run.
What do you think Howie Roseman thinks about when he sees this Eagles team only be able to put up 10 points in a Monday night game? He's like, I drafted all this talent, got you A.J. Brown, got you Jalen Hurts, drafted this incredible offensive line, granted it's banged up. I traded for Saquon. I got Smith in the building, all these studs on defense. And you idiots can't put up 30 points on a consistent basis, even though you're one of the most talented offenses in the NFL. I wonder, he's got to be more frustrated than any Eagles fan out there. He's the best GM in football. It's like, as much as Lions fans wish they could say Brad Holmes, Howie Roseman's just like way over there on another level for the amount of talent that he's acquired. Yet he's watching this team and it's like, why do they not look like a highly functioning organization? Why is A.J. Brown pissed every single week? Why can't they get him the ball? Why does Jalen Hurts not want to throw it to him? He's got to be more frustrated than any Eagles fan, I'd imagine.
Sure. I will say this. Howie Roseman never had a build from rock bottom like the Lions and Brad Holmes. So I'll say that. The Eagles were bad, but they were never rock bottom the way the Lions were, before the Campbell-Holmes administration, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Roseman's great. Does he care? I mean, they're winning games. They're coming off a Super Bowl. There's always going to be that after Super Bowl hangover. And if your hangover is being 7-2, like the Eagles are, and winning these tight games and the offense maybe not being where it is, okay. And there's no new issues. Like, that's the funny thing with Philadelphia.
The new issue is they can't run the ball.
Sure. But Barkley had over 100 yards 2 weeks ago. It depends on the opponent. Green Bay's a very strong rush defense. Like, yeah, playing good opponents they can't, but they beat up on the bad ones, and that's kind of the NFL. But there's no, besides maybe that, the Barkley not having the, oh, wow, is he going to have 2,000 yards like we were talking about at this point last year with them? What's the new problem? Oh, A.J. Brown's moody? He's always moody. He's reading books on the sideline, playoff game. Like, he's always moody. He always doesn't think he's getting the ball enough. The offensive line's banged up. It's kind of always a little banged up in Philly. Graham, right? That's who you said in terms of coming back for them?
Yeah, like Brandon Graham out of retirement.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a conversation piece for 3 years. Every year as a Giant fan, like, oh, my gosh, I hope that guy just stays away. Like, that's always the case, but they find ways to win. So there's no new issue for him to deal with. I think he's coasting. I think he's good. This is going to be a test for Philadelphia in a big way. It's going to be an exciting ball game. But, I mean, they keep winning. That's what matters.
And honestly, like, I'm not a big Jalen Hurts guy. I think he's a little bit more overrated. Just the stats, he gets the Super Bowl MVP, all the rushing touchdowns because of the tush push. Yeah, I've come around on him in a big way over the past 6 months, this season and the Super Bowl. I thought he was a product of the system. Because let's just face it, like, you put any quarterback in a system with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley and that offensive line, like, you're going to have success. And I thought Jalen Hurts was somewhat of a, you just throw him in there and the system's built around him and they've got this tush push to kind of cater to him and make his life easy. You can say that about a lot of quarterbacks, but I think he's been pretty good this season. Just in terms of, like, hey, when their back is against the wall, like, he's gone on a couple 2-minute drives that have looked really good, but there's also been a couple 2-minute drives where you're like, what the hell was going on there? And then I think the biggest thing holding them back is I think Nick Sirianni's somewhat of an what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say loser, because he's not a loser. He wins games. But, like, that decision on Monday night to go for it on 4th and 4 to try to ice the game, and then you chuck it to A.J. Brown 40 yards down the field, then all of a sudden all the Packers have to do is go 20 yards to get in the field goal range. Granted, they didn't do it. They trusted the defense. Why not just punt it and make the Packers go the whole length of the field? That made no sense to me.
They think who the heck they are. I mean, that's kind of how they're always structured. I mean, they got that big security guard on the sidelines. They got Sirianni posing to the cameras. What was it? Yeah,
Big Dom.
Like they like, to me, they carried themselves like a college program in a positive sense, right? In terms of just like the swagger that they have and how their coaches are. And there used to be a thought process that's not, like, you can't win like that in the league. You can't have your head coach being a knucklehead at times and all that stuff. But they won the Super Bowl, man. I mean, there's no arguing against the results, but Yeah, like Sirianni, they play. I mean, you could look at that. Would the Lions have not gone for it in that standpoint? And I know it's, I guess,
4th
different
and
team
4.
personnel. I think Campbell would have, dude. I really do. I mean, I was more frustrated with the play call than anything else.
Yeah, deep shot makes no sense.
Like, just get the 4 yards. Like, you don't need to get the home run there. I mean, that's ideal, but get the 4 yards, ice the game, and go on to next week. But Lions would have gone for it there, you know? Like, that's, I mean, if we're just talking building this game up from an entertainment standpoint, too, you're going to have 2 coaches that roll the dice. It's going to be great. Like, 2 teams that, like, are going to have not even, like, it's different when it's 2 teams out of desperation. Like, I was watching Giants-Chicago, it's like, well, yeah. But it's like, all right, you get to midfield, you're considered going for it if you're the Giants every time because it's like, yeah, we have 2 wins, you know, from that perspective. And Chicago, just how you're playing with Caleb Williams, you want to get this game. But I think it's, you know, reeked of more desperation than assertiveness, where with this one, there's nothing to lose. Like we're going to talk about if it's must win or not. These are 2 teams that are going to come in confident and should play that way because they backed it up this year.
989-837-6125. Jalen Hurts, somewhat of a different animal. Let's get into that and discuss whether or not this is a must-win game in just a second. We'll also give away our Red Wings tickets in just a moment as well. Stick with us. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on the Mitt. The 10 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Corning, a global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphone to innovations that power clean energy and advanced medicine, Corning is shaping the future. But it's not just about the tech, it's also about the people. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities close to home. With a legacy of innovation and commitment to what's next, Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Corning, creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Great Lakes Loons. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed. Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we're already a minute late, so thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. Let's give away some Detroit Red Wings tickets. Here's what you got to do. Text in the keyword, your name, and the town you're texting from. All right, the keyword is hockey. Let's keep it simple. Keyword is hockey. Text in hockey to 989-837-6125 for a chance to win tickets to this Red Wings Sabres game for this Saturday. We'll pick a winner here momentarily. So, whether or not we think this is a must-win game for the Detroit Lions, I think comes down to one thing. How much do you value the 1 seed? And I know there's a lot of Lions fans out there that think, well, they had the 1 seed last year. That didn't mean anything. There's probably a lot of Lions fans that don't want to hear this, but I think the 1 seed still has a lot of value. There has been 10 teams, one from each conference, the last 5 years during that 1 seed since they switched the format. 5 of the 10 teams that have had the 1 seed have went on to go to the Super Bowl. It adds up. Like, the math is there. If you're one of the 2 1 seeds, odds are one of you is going to go to the Super Bowl. In fact, of the 5 seasons that there has been the single first-round bye, the single 1 seed in each conference, there's only been 1 year where neither team that was the 1 seed made it to the Super Bowl, and that was the year the Rams and the Bengals did it in 2022. So I'd be pretty shocked if the Lions weren't all in to try to win this game. It's prime time. It's against the Eagles. And if you lose this game, Philly moves on to 8-2. You're 6-4. Either the Rams or the Seahawks are also going to be 8-2. So suddenly you're 2 games back of that 1 seed without a tiebreaker over the Philadelphia Eagles. I think you can pretty much kiss the 1 seed goodbye if you lose this game to Philly. And look, is it the end of the world if you lose it and don't get that 1 seed? No, not necessarily, but you're barely hanging on to the division right now. I'm not as worried about that. I do think the Lions should be gunning for this 1 seed, try to play indoors. I'd prefer not to play out in Philly again in the playoffs. Let's get that game out of the way here now. If you think this 1 seed is important, which I do, I think it is kind of a must-win game. Not must-win in terms of making the playoffs, but must-win in terms of claiming that 1 seed.
Yeah, like I'm not going to disagree, but when we use the term must win, it's just I'm not going to assign it for a November 16th game. Just because there's a season to play, just because I like the Lions schedule the rest of the way too, you drop this, it's not the end of the world. It just, as you said, worsens your chances for the 1 seed. And again, ideally you want that number 1 seed, like I said, and like you stated, with the fact that you don't want to play on the road outdoors. And Noah brings up in the YouTube chat, where does Goff can't play in the cold come from? I don't know. Just watch the I could pull the career stats during a break in outdoor games, but you see it with your eyes, right? We don't need to.
Went 336 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Bears in December last year in the cold.
Okay.
I think we put that narrative to bed last season.
Did we?
Yes.
So then how is this a must-win game then? And you don't need home field. If you're okay with playing Philly on the road,
your chances of going to the Super Bowl increase dramatically if you have that 1 seed, though. You have to play one less playoff game.
I get that, but if you're not afraid of playing on the road in the cold, then it's not a must-win.
It's not that I'm afraid of doing it. I prefer to not do it twice in the same season. Go to Philly twice. That sounds like a death sentence.
Why?
Especially if you win the. Yeah,
you play opponent twice.
I don't want to play Philly twice in Philadelphia. Okay, sue me.
No, I get it, but there's an argument to be made. You get an opponent twice, it's better off for you, right? I especially in the same location. I mean, we're going to always talk about the second time against an NFC North team and how it might benefit the team that lost the first game. It's how it works. If you feel that Goff can play in the outdoor extremities, then it's not a must win. It'd be a nice win. It'd be great to be the 1 seed. It'd be great, of course, but it's not must win. If I put it more must win because if I'm the Lions, I want the 1 seed. Because of playing on the road, but playing outdoors more importantly. I'd even have this different conversation if the team that was vying for the 1 seed, if the Eagles were pick the Cowboys, I think would be the best example, right? Same, out of division, in conference, indoors. You wouldn't be worried about that. Like this is where the worry comes from, right? Like if the Eagles played indoors, is it the same worry?
I just don't like being in Philadelphia.
I get
that
it.
That place sucks.
Yeah, because
the fans suck.
Because it might be snowing. Because it's a loud atmosphere.
It is loud. It's you got to tip your hat when it's due. It's one of the best atmospheres, one of the best venues in football. Now, are the Lions going to be able to do their takeover tour there? I have no idea.
They're not.
You don't think so?
No. You know how passionate those crazy people are?
I do.
They boo Santa, throw snowballs at him. That's all they got. The Sixers are bad.
Sixers are not bad.
Phillies. What was the last time the Sixers did anything in the playoffs, Ben? They're great. They've been trusting the process. They've been trusting the process for 15 years.
The process is over. The process is over.
Yeah, and what did it equate to? The process equated to nothing.
They don't have Philly. What are we doing right now? Why are we arguing about the 76ers?
Did they have a conference finals appeance?
No. Why are we arguing about the conference finals? Why are we arguing about the 76ers right now?
We're talking about Philadelphia. And how rambunctious they are.
They like their team this year. That's all I'm saying. They like the Sixers.
They like their team every year.
No, they have not liked their Sixers team the last few years. They like their Sixers team now that VJ Edgecombe is here. That's all I'm saying. But that's so far away from where I want to be right now with the conversation. Look, I guess my point is I don't think this is a must-win. The Lions are going to be in the playoffs. I think they have like 5 gimme games left in their season. Because they've still got the Giants. No, they've got 3 gimmies. They've got the Giants, the Cowboys, the Steelers. That's already going to get you to 9 wins. So can you scrape together 1 to 2 more wins of the 5 that you have after that? You're going to be fine. Like 10 wins should get you into the playoffs. 11 wins will get you into the playoffs. This team's going to be there. So I don't think it's a must win. But if you think the 1 seed, I just want to get it out there. Like it's not just, they were the 1 seed last year. That didn't matter. Half the teams that are the 1 seed go to the playoffs or go to the Super Bowl. Like, that matters. So, if you really do value the 1 seed, I think it is a must-win game. I'm not going to deem it one. We haven't deemed one a must-win since week 2.
But who out there doesn't think that a 1 seed's important? Like, who out there says Lions it's not
fans.
important?
I think Lions fans after last year were like, I don't care about the 1 seed.
We should run up a poll. That's what we should do. But I just like where Lions fans are completely out on being the 1 seed because it happened last year and they lost to a Commanders team at home.
Let's ask the people.
That's what I'm saying.
989-837-6125. How much do you care about being the 1 seed for this season? Because I know the Lions lost last year. Commanders, they lose at home. One of the worst losses in franchise history, I'd say. I still think it matters. Just try to play the games at home. And honestly, like they've been a great road team over the last year and a half. They went undefeated on the road last season. Never lost, even including the playoff game, because they never had a road playoff game. They've already had 1 road loss this season to Green Bay week 1 and then on the road against Kansas City as well. But I'd rather just be playing those games in Ford Field. That's where the Lions are at the best. That's where they like to put up a ton of points. I think it matters. I'm not going to go as far as say it's a must-win, and if they don't get that 1 seed, they're not going to the Super Bowl. But look, half the teams that are the 1 seed go to the Super Bowl. That has been what it's been the last 5 years since the single first-round bye has been introduced. Because remember, back in the day, there was 2 first-round byes. Now there's only 1. Half the teams have gone to the Super Bowl if they've claimed that. 989-837-6125. Let us know what you think about that. We'll pick a winner here for Big Win Wednesday here coming up in a minute as well. Be on the lookout for a text that you receive if you are our winner, because we're going to need a confirmation text as well. 989-837-6125. If you are looking to move before the winter rolls around, because time is ticking, meet Matt Smith, Modern Realty, redefining real estate with a fresh, modern approach. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, Matt Smith delivers personalized service tailored to you. Cutting-edge marketing, local expertise, and commitment to doing your real estate experience and making it as smooth and successful as possible. From cozy starter homes to luxury properties, they know how to find the perfect fit. Trust the team that combines innovation with real-world know-how. That is Matt Smith of Modern Realty.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Hi, I know it's late, but I just had a fender bender, and I wasn't sure who to call.
You did the right thing. At Yiter Insurance, we're here for you 24/7, day or night, weekday or weekend. You'll always get a real person ready to help. Backed by Auto Owners Insurance.
Life doesn't happen on a 9-to-5 schedule, and neither does Yiter. With trusted partners like auto owners, whether it's a claim, a question about coverage, or just peace of mind, you can count on us anytime you need us.
Yiter Insurance. Your friends in the insurance business. Always on, always here for you.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Something's in the water.
Dude, it's in your mouth.
I can't see it, but I feel it.
This summer, from the people who brought you floss and fluoride, gum disease, the silent bite.
Ah! Why didn't anyone warn me?
We did. At Scott Family Dental, you may not see the problem, but we can. No insurance contracts and a team that treats you like family.
So no jaws, just gentle cleanings?
Exactly. But skip your checkup and you might need a bigger toothbrush.
Scott Family Dental. Catch the problems before they bite. Book now at scottfamdental.com.
Santa's coming to town early, and he's cutting a ribbon. Join the City of Midland for the grand opening of the Poseyville Preserve, just off East Main Street near Dow Diamond, across the Tittabawassee River from downtown. At 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday, December 2nd, celebrate the new Founders Crossing pedestrian pathway and Allen W. Ott Family Pavilion with free hot cocoa, cookies, and goodie bags for the kids. Then, follow Santa and Mrs. Claus downtown for the courthouse lighting at 6:30 and the opening of the Midland Santa House. Learn more at midland-mi.org/Poseyville Preserve.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know the pervasive use of technology can lead to digital eye strain, burning or tired eyes, headaches, fatigue, loss of focus, blurred or double vision. Overexposure light from electronic devices may also increase the likelihood of developing serious eye conditions such as age-related macular degeneration. To give your eyes a rest, remember 20-20-20. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, let's give a big shout out to Ella. Ella is our winner for Big Win Wednesday. Thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet. She's going to the Red Wings game this Saturday. Thanks to our friends there. If you didn't win, no worries. We're going to send more people to more games next Wednesday here on the Ben Bosscher Show.
Yeah!
All right, with that being said, let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's zoom out and go around the league. Look at all those pretty logos. You know what logo we're going to talk about today, though, Ben?
Probably the NFL.
That's a good guess. Yeah, we're going to talk about the National Football League. let's do a little contenders and pretenders. On this Wednesday, we're not getting winners and whiners, but we'll get some contenders and pretenders there. And we'll start, and we kind of foreshadowed this when we were talking about Philadelphia and how we'd be poking the holes through them if what?
Well, can I just jump in? Are we doing pretenders, contenders based on can they win the Super Bowl or are they going to win a playoff? Like, what's the standard here? Because I think the Bears are a perfect example of this, right? Bears are sitting at 6-3. It's like, are the Bears really a 6-3 team? I don't think anybody in their right mind thinks they can like win a Super Bowl. But are they pretenders in the sense that like they're not going to make the playoffs? Are they contenders in the sense that they are going to be in the playoffs? Let's define this first.
Well, I think winning a Super Bowl is the main goal, and I think that's what would be best here.
Okay.
You know?
That works with me.
I mean, we say this though, but the teams I'm going to lay out for you, none of them besides maybe the first are probably in top 5 at Super Bowl odds.
Well, let's just dive right into it.
All right. We're going to go first with a team that is a team led by my former guy, Daniel Jones.
Ooh.
Imagine that if you told people at the beginning of the year the Indianapolis Colts would be 8-2 with Danny Dimes calling the shots. That's how good the defense, O-line, Jonathan Taylor has been. And Jones has done more to help them win than to help them lose. Colts are 8-2. Are they contenders or pretenders?
Look, there's one way and one way only that this team is going to be a real contender. And it's if they can finish out the regular season strong and grab that 1 seed and they get the teams like Buffalo. Well, first of all, they need that first round bye because I don't think there's a chance in hell they're beating Kansas City and Buffalo, Kansas City and Baltimore. Like, they have to let those teams feast on each other in the first round to some degree. And then they have to pray that one of those teams matches up against each other.
They have to pray, huh?
They have to get on their hands and knees and pray that one of those teams knocks each other out. And if they don't grab the 1 seed, I'll say they're total pretenders. They have to get it at home, play indoors. No way Daniel Jones is going on the road and going to Arrowhead picking up a win. No way he's playing at Highmark in January and picking up a win in Buffalo. It's just, like, I don't know, man. I've seen Daniel Jones for way too long, and you know it better than anybody. It's just not a guy you necessarily trust, even with the start that this, I guess it's not even a start anymore, halfway through the season. Obviously, he's been great, but I don't know. There's still something along the lines of, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. When push comes to shove in the AFC and you got to go on a game-winning drive, there's quarterbacks I trust. There's quarterbacks I don't trust. I don't think Daniel Jones has quite earned that trust yet.
I get you. But he's won a playoff game with a worse team, the Giants team that beat Minnesota a couple of years back. The first year of Brian Dable, by the way.
Minnesota is not the same as Kansas City and Buffalo.
I was going to say, then had to go to Philadelphia, and that was a bad memory that I've repressed in my mind because it was such a butt-kicking. They got absolutely spanked by the Eagles in that game.
Do you want to hear a bad stat?
Sure.
Wait, I have a question. As a Giants fan, are you rooting for Daniel Jones and the Colts, or do you feel indifferent?
I'm rooting for him. I mean, I just don't, like I'll root against Kansas City. So like if that happens, but I mean, I'm not like, oh my God, go Colts and bandwagoning him, but I don't hold any ill will against Daniel Jones. They never gave him a team good enough to win. And I mean, just because of what he's doing this year, like you might say, like, oh, the Giants are incompetent, this and that. The Colts have put together a perfect system for him.
Yeah.
Like the O-line goes down,
man.
you take away Jonathan Taylor, they're still an average team too. It's not like the Giants. The Giants knew what they had to deliver with him. Like he's a middle of the road quarterback. He's an average quarterback that could elevate you if you have the perfect things around him. And the Giants never positioned the perfect things around him, and Indy has. Like I can't be mad at that.
So interceptions, I think, can be a little bit overblown sometimes. Not all the time. Like Geno and Tua have thrown the most picks. That makes sense. They have played very bad football this season. Daniel Jones has thrown 7.
Yeah.
That's up there towards the top. But I think the bigger stat is the 4.2 turnover-worthy play percentage is smack right in the middle between Tua and Trevor Lawrence as the third worst turnover-worthy play percentage in the NFL this season of quarterbacks that have played X amount of snaps. Like,
again, that's what he is.
If they have to go on a 2-minute drive, I think it's going to the other team.
That's what he is, and the difference between Tua and Lawrence and him, because I always, like early when his tenure with the Giants, I always, was like, yeah, he's basically Lawrence. Like, they're the same guy. They both have one playoff win. And people would get pushed. No, Lawrence is so much more talented.
Lawrence
blah, blah,
stinks.
Blah. They're the same guy.
Lawrence's accuracy is the worst in the league.
And Lawrence even more, he was a first overall pick. I mean, Jones was top 6, don't get me wrong, but, Lawrence coming out of school, Heisman, everything like that. Anyway, I'm going to say contender right now. I really am. Do I think they'll go to the Super Bowl? I think they have a shot to. I really do. Will I be surprised if they run to Kansas City and Baltimore, or Kansas City or Buffalo and lose? No. But right now I'm putting them contender. I don't know if I'll say it for the next team though.
Well, hold on. I got one more thing on the Colts.
All right, one more thing.
They haven't really beaten that many great teams.
Oh, here we go. So they're just frauds, huh?
I kind of think
Dude,
they are.
Where are they on your Tuesday Tower?
On the bottom tier. Which, hey, they made it. It's a top 10 team. But their best wins against the Broncos. They should have lost that game. They lost that game and got gifted a second chance. Their next best win is the Chargers, but that's when they had no offensive line. They haven't really beaten anybody. And their upcoming schedule, they've got the Chiefs, the Texans, the Seahawks, Texans again. We'll find out about this team.
Yep, and 3 of their next 4 are on the road for Indianapolis.
I'm going to say pretenders.
All right. Denver Broncos, they're 8-2 too.
The king of pretenders.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be quick with this one. Even with Bo Nix having the worst performance ever last week, it was so bad. He looked so terrible.
I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback play worse in a win.
Yeah.
Ever. Especially, I don't know if there's been a worse quarterback on an 8-2 team. And there's no way he's actually that bad. I just refuse to believe he's as bad as he was on Thursday. But, oh, my God, Thursday was I wanted to, scoop my eyeballs out of my eye sockets with a spoon. It was so bad.
My goodness.
Yeah,
scooping eyeballs.
This is the fraudulent team.
Yes.
Great defense, really good offensive line. Pass, weapons are so-so. The quarterback's just, he's not it.
Yep, they're lucky the Giants know how to blow games. Speaking of the Giants blowing games, how about the Chicago Bears? I think they're pretenders too, by the way, in terms of the Broncos. But how about the Bears? 6-3, coming off Caleb Williams' heroics in the fourth quarter. Ben Johnson, man, what a coordinator, huh? What a head coach. 6-3 start. Are they contenders or are they pretenders?
I don't know how they keep doing it.
I do. I got those 2 guys.
Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams. I mean, we talk about Trevor Lawrence being one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks in the NFL. Caleb Williams, exact same thing. When he's got to plant his feet and hit a guy, he can't do it. I saw a stat too, and I'm gonna do a terrible job explaining this stat, but I saw a stat and some guy breaking it down where he doesn't throw to guys to where he has to throw them open. The only way Caleb Williams will throw the ball to someone is if they have already gotten themselves wide open. We saw there was a great replay of Jared Goff throwing it to an open zone. Amon-Ra's not open yet, but he knows Amon-Ra's going to get there and beat his guy to the spot. Right? Jared Goff, Amon-Ra, always on the same page with that kind of stuff, finding the open space. Caleb Williams doesn't do that. He forces his guys to get open before he throws it. Now, some of the stuff he's doing to avoid sacks, that's the stuff that we thought he was Mahomes. The comparison to Mahomes came in college. And honestly, I don't know if there's anybody in the NFL right now that's better at avoiding the sack than Caleb Williams, other than maybe Josh Allen and Lamar. But I don't know. They're also one of these teams that haven't beaten a single good team. It's like Dallas is their best win. So I'm going to say pretenders.
That's fine. I wish I could go neither, right? Because I just don't know with this team. But if I had to choose, which, that's what we're doing here in radio, I would say pretenders as well. They're in Minnesota this week. That's going to be an intriguing game. And I think that's going to be an intriguing play in terms of our spread picks, man. I really do. I think maybe myself, Kyle, maybe you will have some action on it. I don't know. That'll be a tease for tomorrow.
Chicago, it's 25th in DVOA. That's tough.
6-3.
Negative DVOA.
6-3, baby. Even with allowing 52 points to those good old Lions. Next team up, Jacksonville Jaguars, 5-4.
Frauds. So, the biggest frauds other than – because Denver's in their own tier because they've got the good record. Trevor Lawrence is so god-awful at quarterback. And this is – what did I say all of last year? What did I say all offseason? Oh, he's finally got an offensive play caller. This was the team I invested so much in. My starting fantasy football lineup in my big main league, I had Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter because I was so in on this offense, and Trevor Lawrence finally taking that step forward. He's an idiot. He stinks. He can't hit guys in stride. He just can't do it. He's constantly picking up flags for throwing the ball when he's past the line of scrimmage. He's throwing interceptions. They get into the red zone, and you're like clenching your butt because you don't know what's going to happen. It's like, hey, 1st and goal. What's going to happen? Minus 300. That it's going to be a turnover of some extent. They're just not a great team. They're just not, and it's all rooted from Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, pretenders. One last one, 49ers. 6-4. I was really confident in them. Yeah, I was really confident in them last week. One of my spread picks, you had the Rams, and that was a great call because the Rams kind of showed that they're the class of the West.
Maybe Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's there too. But 49ers, they're still 6-4, dude.
Is their quarterback ever going to play?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can properly evaluate this team until Brock Purdy's back.
Isn't Mac just their quarterback at this point? Like you're under.
I don't know.
Because I'm under the belief Brock could have played if they wanted him to. I think they're just waiting for the first Mac bad game, which are you really going to get a miserable game?
I feel like we've seen a couple bad Mac games.
Yeah, he wasn't a world beater last week, so yeah. The jury's still out on them. If I had to put them, I'd say contenders.
I'm going to say pretenders because I think even if Brock Purdy's playing and he looks great, they're still the 7th best team in the NFC.
Okay.
So I'll say pretenders.
All
right. That's around the league. When we come back here on the Ben Bosscher Show, live on YouTube, I'll tell you how it's possible that only 2 Big Ten teams are making the college football playoffs. That's when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on the Midland Area Community Foundation is dedicated to strengthening our community through generosity and connection, supporting local nonprofits, scholarships, and projects that make Midland a better place to live, work, and play. Your donations help fund vital programs in education, health, the arts, and more right here at home. Partner with the foundation, leave a lasting legacy, and create positive change for generations to come. Get involved, give back, and learn more at midlandareacf.org. Together we build a stronger Midland, one gift, one idea, and one heart at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Mirror on the wall, whose house is the nicest on the block of the mall?
Not yours.
What do you mean?
Your siding is faded, your gutters are falling off, and you have shingles missing. I suggest you call Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
I'm going to call Bresky Siding and Building Repair right now. Mirror on the wall, now whose house is the nicest of them all?
Yours is, kind sir, yours is.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitts. This month's recipient is Braden Schwartzkampf from Calvary Baptist Academy. With a 3.7 GPA, Braden is a 2-sport athlete playing basketball and soccer. He owns a lawn business. He's in the choir, mock election, and wants to be a teacher for his career. Braden gained experience with Teachers for Tomorrow.
I started to teach math and tutor kids in that class who were struggling. And then for grammar, I just went around doing spell checks, and I think I taught the class 4 or 5 times. I really enjoyed being able to help the kids out and just impact their life in a way. It was a really cool experience.
Next fall, Braden will continue his academic and athletic career studying and playing basketball at Spring Harbor College. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Into the end zone. The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
MSU needs to win out for a bowl game. So does their opponent, Penn State. Spartans host the Nittany Lions, both teams looking for their first Big Ten win. Kickoff is Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it!
100.9 The Mitt.
Let's go! Get them going!
Mondays this football season when you want the NFL.
I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! We're calling it a Super Bowl.
It's right here.
Let's make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
We'll see if the moves made by the Cowboys at the trade deadline pay off. They play the Raiders in Vegas. M&F coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, 989-837-6125. Welcome back in. So I was looking at the new college football playoff rankings that came out yesterday, and I did have a thought because we've done this conversation a couple times of like, hey, how many Big Ten teams are going to be in? Like, is there an avenue for 4 teams? And I think there is. If USC wins out, the avenue for 4 Big Ten teams is Oregon wins out, beats USC, Michigan wins out, beats Ohio State, and all of a sudden Oregon and Michigan and Ohio State and Indiana all have bids to the college football playoffs. But there's also an avenue where, hear me out, I think there is a chance that only 2 teams could make it from the Big Ten. And it's not even that crazy of a circumstance here for the next couple of weeks. Here's what it would have to take. Iowa beats USC this week because Iowa's already eliminated. They already have their 3 losses.
You think so? Even with the win against USC, 3 losses, Big Ten, is that it just wouldn't happen?
I think you're done.
All right.
I think you're done. There's too many SEC teams.
All right.
Iowa beats USC. They both have 3 losses. Iowa just has too much ground to make up being ranked 21 with only two weeks left for some teams. So Iowa beats USC. Then both of those teams are out. And it just comes down to Oregon, Michigan, and then the 2 teams that are ranked 1 and 2. Then next week, USC plays Oregon. And what if USC is just like, screw it, our season's done, but we're going to spoil Oregon's season? Oregon's sitting at 8 right now. It's not like they're just locked to make it. And look, with their win against Iowa last week, like, yeah, it's a nice win, but it doesn't seem like the committee's all that impressed with Oregon, and that's part of the reason I think they came in ranked 8th yesterday. They have the loss to Indiana. They didn't look very good in that game. If they lose to USC, I think there's a chance that a handful of teams pass them, and especially knowing, hey, there's some teams that need guaranteed bids. You know, you get the non-Power 5 in. If they get smoked by USC, there is a chance that Oregon just gets bounced out of the top 12. And then what if Ohio State just beats Michigan straight up? They're going to be eliminated with their 3rd loss. So all of a sudden, not that many things have to happen for all of a sudden it's like, so only 2 Big Ten teams making it. Is it likely? No. Is it possible? I think so.
Yeah. Just based on who plays who, and you kind of laid that out pretty well. I'm looking at the rankings now, too. It astonishes me, too. You say, like, oh, they have to have a non-Power 5 team in, which is true. But then don't rank any of them remotely close.
No.
So 24 South Florida would be in the playoff if it ended today?
Yep. That's
Love
the
it.
12 seed.
Love it.
Get their butts kicked in by somebody.
Love it. That's like that. That's just. I mean, it's a flaw in the system right there. Even though past years there has been those non-Power 5 schools that deserve more love this year.
But even Boise last year ended up being like they just couldn't compete.
But they did though. Like we'll go back to this. We had this conversation last year. They did.
Did they?
They did. Like it was a competitive game. I know they didn't win, but it's not like they got steamrolled.
What'd the final score end up being against Penn State in the playoffs?
I'd have to go back.
31-14, man.
Dude, it was close, dude. Penn State scored a field goal later, a touchdown late to extend it to 17. It was close.
Sure.
It was
UAB
close.
is going to get, or South Florida, whoever it ends up being, they're going to get destroyed.
Who'd South Florida beat? So they beat Boise to begin the year. I remember that. You were on that. That was one of your lock of the weeks, or a lock of the days, actually.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal.
But yeah, I what was it? Like the Big Ten is top heavy this year. I mean, I think that's the conclusion we've gone to. The second tier teams are just kind of picking each other off. The Ducks, as you said, not looking convincing. A 14-point win against Wisconsin 2 weeks ago. They barely beat Iowa last week, and I know the conditions were tough in the rain and everything like that. But that's Big Ten football, and the SEC's getting more, more love. I will say, I mean, teams are going to fall, right? Like you got a couple top 25 matchups this week that are going to benefit the Big Ten entirely. Texas plays Georgia, so if Texas loses, they're not even a team to consider anymore.
The fact that they climbed all the way back up to 10 is wild.
Yeah. Bama plays...
Because people wrote them off after week 2 or 3.
Of course. Well, that's what we did. When Arch played that bad, that's what's going to happen.
Right.
And
Arch has looked a lot better as of late.
He has. If Bama beats Oklahoma, they're gone because Oklahoma would have 3 losses if we're under that, thought process. So... and 2 7-2 teams going at Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. So there's a lot to play out, but just based on how this ranking goes, the SEC is just being valued more, which I think is fair, just on how things have played out this year. But you'll take it if you're the Big Ten if you got the number 1 and 2 teams in the country, the way you do.
The longer we go on, I feel like there's less teams than last year that actually feel like they have a chance. And I feel like there's also a world where
I think it's the opposite.
You think more teams have a chance?
Yeah.
What are the odds at some point though? In the near future, it just becomes like it's Ohio State versus the field. Because I think Ohio State has looked that good this season. They don't have their astonishing win, like the big primetime win that was supposed to be Texas. So I guess you can kind of count that again. But just 2 totally different teams at this point in the season. I don't know. I don't think I've seen a team all year that looks as good as Ohio State.
No, yeah, and again, this may sound you can't call me a Michigan boy because I'm from New York, but we were saying all that about last year's Ohio State team, and they lost to Michigan.
And then they won the title.
Yeah, I know, but that happened, and luckily for them, think about how crazy that is too, just from a old college football era perspective. They might have been dead to rights if in the old. I forget where they finished in the playoff last year. After the Michigan loss, but then when
they didn't get a first round bye.
Yeah, then showed they were the national champions, and it's that's why the new system was created, because it used to just be the number 1 and number 2 team in the country, and that loss would have cost you when it's all right, they were the best team in the country. So
I still think 8 would have been the better number to go to instead of 12. And I know it's for the money.
It's going to 16, so don't worry about it.
Which is insane. The Big Ten proposed the 2014 playoffs. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Yeah. There's not 24 teams that are capable of winning the national championship on a year-to-year basis. I'm not even sure there's 8.
The fun part about what we're saying, where if it's if only 2 Big Ten teams do make it, Big Ten commissioners are gonna be pissed. So that how the SEC Sankey was just talking nonsense last couple of days about I'm under good what do you say that there'll be 6 SEC teams or something like that in this one. He said
it's gonna be a lot.
He said something crazy, he's under the impression, just based on his conversation with the committee, that it's gonna just be an insane number, and it's
well, if Texas beats Ohio, if Texas beats Georgia on the road, which Easier said than done. All of a sudden, like I think there's like four SEC teams, right, or 5 SEC teams right there that are probably in.
Yeah.
Because then you have Texas earn a spot back in. Georgia's still going to be in. Bama, A&M, and Ole Miss. It's like, okay, there's 5 right there. More than they got last year. They got 3 last year.
Yeah, I think he said 6. I think that's what he said. But
Oregon's the team that's like, what do they do if they lose? If they lose to USC in 2 weeks, like, how bad is the committee going to punish them? Because they don't really have that big-time win. They have Iowa. I don't think that's all that impressive, you know?
No.
So, we'll see.
The worst thing for the Big Ten was Penn State falling off a cliff like they did.
Yes.
Because all these, like, oh, Oregon beat Penn State on the road by 6. It's like, that's not good. Like, that's how we're viewing it now. Like, oh, had to go on the road and play Penn State. Like, that's tough. And, yeah, just that doesn't matter anymore. So, good job, James Franklin.
Thank you, James. 989-837-6125. This number to the Mitt messages here on 100.9 The Mitt. We still got the 11 o'clock hour coming up. Want to revisit the Detroit Lions conversation we were having regarding the 1 seed in this game against Philadelphia, because there is a world where you do think that this is a must-win. Others, on the other hand, might think differently. Depends on how you viewed this this number 1 seed that the Lions are going to be chasing through the rest of the season. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live right here on 100.9 The Mid. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Hey, sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan, featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm gonna go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run!
Ah!
Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Linz ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
AFC East clash, the Jets and Patriots in Foxborough. Drake May is getting MVP chatter. And hey, the Jets are coming off a win. Coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Michigan, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
(989) 837-6125. Welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on the Mint. That number one seed, how important is it to the Lions fans? Because obviously last year you get the number one seed, nothing matters because Commanders come to town and, spoil the Lions season. Lions got revenge on that last week. But has it spoiled your appetite for that number one seed again? Because I'll just say this. If the Lions lose on Sunday against the Eagles, that one seed, kiss it goodbye. I don't think it's happening because the Eagles are going to be 8-2 with a head-to-head win against you. You're going to be 6-4, 2 games back. Not only would you be chasing the Eagles 2 games back, but really 3 because they have the tiebreaker. The Rams or Seahawks, one of those teams is also going to be 8-2 because they're both 7-2 right now and play each other on Sunday. One of the best games of the year so far up to this point. So I think if the Lions lose on Sunday, you can kiss that one seed goodbye. But how much you value the one seed, I think, is completely different based on how you feel last year ended. I'll tell you this, last 5 seasons, really since the new one seed and the new playoff format structure got introduced, of the 10 teams that have acquired a one seed, half of them have made the Super Bowl. It matters. I think I don't think any Lions fan out there should be like, I don't want the one seed. You need the one seed. But then again, it's not a must. You don't have to have it in order to win the Super Bowl. It certainly helped, though. So I'm not going to deem it a must-win, but it's about as close as it can be without being a must-win. We've only had one must-win game this year, and that was Week 2 against Chicago. We haven't had one since.
I remember. And that's based on numbers, and this is based on numbers too, right? Like the fact, if you start the season 0-2.
And then the real fear there was going to Baltimore Week 3. We didn't know how bad Baltimore was going to be.
Correct.
But
still,
Week 2 was a must-win game.
That was still a tough game to win, too, that Baltimore game. I know Baltimore played out a little differently in terms of their season, but that was a back and forth.
Still had Lamar.
Affair. Yeah, at that point. So, again, I'm not deeming it must-win based on the fact that I think there's more of a conversation if the one seed is still top of mind for Lions fans or if it's, hey, get in and get healthy, more so than having the home field just how it played out last year. But if you have a lot of stock in that number one overall seed, getting that home field advantage throughout, and as you mentioned, the fact that even if you're the 2 seed, you don't get that bye anymore. Only the 1 seed gets the bye with the playoff format. It's
meaningful.
It's going to be top of mind and very important. Again, I'm not valuing it must win, but. And I just because there's still ways to go, that's just how my mindset is, where it's like, all right, we think this is going to happen and that's going to happen in terms of the win-loss, but the NFC is just so competitive up and down. I don't know if, you're just going to lose to this Eagles team and then they're just going to roll to the number 1 seed. That might happen to the defending Super Bowl champions, but as we laid out when we previewed this game in depthly on the 10 o'clock hour, which you can go back and listen to on YouTube and on the podcast post-show, the Eagles haven't been world beaters. They haven't been this convincing team. We hold a lot of cachet in the fact that they're the defending Super Bowl champions, all the name value, but how they've beaten teams this year hasn't been convincing. It hasn't been the Eagles of last year by any stretch. The comparison I made was to the Kansas City Chiefs of a year ago in terms of, okay, former Super Bowl champions, so you hold them to a high class, but the wins are always close. There's never a big, not always close. They've had some convincing wins, but at least against competitive teams, it's always been close games, and you're just not really, they're not world beaters by any stretch. So I think the NFC.
That being said, though, how can you say they're anything further back from the 5th best team in the NFL? You can't.
The Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still in that top-tier conversation.
It's just the way it's played out. And, again, we talked about it with around the league in terms of fraudulent. You go on record. You don't look at the Colts at 8-2 is better than them. You don't look at the Broncos at 8-2 better than them. And you don't look at even any team in the NFC North better than them after the Packers game. So, yeah, the things have played out the way they have. But if you lose.
Would you view them as the best team in the NFC right now?
No, I would view the Rams.
So would I.
And then I'd view the Lions.
I think all those 3 teams are pretty close, though.
Yeah, but I put
it's not like I'd put one team way ahead of the other.
If we're talking, I put the Eagles 3rd. The Eagles lost to the Giants.
They did lose to the Giants.
I watched with my own eyes. It was the best day of the season. Best day as a Giants fan in 5 years.
That's insane.
It was. Literally since the playoff game against the Vikings in 21. So, like, I saw it, you know. I understand, you know, Lions have lost 3 games, but not to an opponent as bad as the Giants. So I just you like we might be under different thought processes too. I don't think you kiss the 1 seed goodbye necessarily with a loss. It doesn't help.
I think it's gone. I think it's as good as gone.
Definitively.
Yeah, you're chasing 2 teams. One of them has a 3-game lead over you.
Mm-hmm.
With the tiebreaker, it's a 2-game lead, but with the tiebreaker, it's 3. Yeah,
sure.
Kiss that goodbye. And then on top of that, you're chasing another team too. Now, if you beat you want the Rams to win that because you have the head-to-head versus the Rams, and then you can try to even it up later on in the season. But if Seattle wins it and you don't even get a chance to go head-to-head against them, they're not getting the 1 seed. Then it's just about, can you win the division and get a home playoff game to start the season?
Yeah.
Or to start the playoffs, which matters, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, you know, the first-round bye is more important than going on the road, I think. That first-round bye, I think, is just like, it's 1 less game. It's a week to get healthy. I know it didn't matter last year, but we can't just, like, throw everything out the window because they lost last season. A lot of weird stuff happened in that game. I think Jared Goff got concussed in the middle of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Frankie Louvu destroyed him when he threw the pick. Goff didn't play very good. Nobody played great. And they got down early, and the injuries added up, and they didn't have a pass rush. I think this Lions team the defense is certainly better than it was last season. And the offense, now that Dan Campbell's taken over plays, maybe is just as good. Because I don't think until last week we could have said that this Lions offense was just as good as last year's. It was historically great in 2024. And under Morin, it just looked a little clunky. Now that Campbell's calling plays, I need to see it for more than just 1 week. But it might be time to start talking about them once again as like, okay, this is the premier offense in the NFL. Because I don't think they were that for the first 8 weeks of the season.
No.
They had week 2 in Chicago. Other than that, it was like, this is a good offense. Maybe even a great offense. But it's not the premier offense of the NFL. That was the Colts for the first 8 weeks of the season.
Yeah. And a win tonight goes a long way in terms of establishing that. Yeah, I'm intrigued by it, or Sunday I should say. Did I say tonight?
Yes.
Sunday. Jeez, yeah.
That's
so
Pistons
far
who
away.
are in action
Pistons
tonight.
and CMU, which we'll get to in the mid-morning catch. But yeah, have we gotten any feedback in terms of on the text chain with anyone talking about the 1 seed? Because what was it? If we're completely disavowing it from a Lions fan perspective, that's a little tough, just based on 1 year.
Well, Brent says the 1 seed would be nice, but I've gotten the vibe that this team needs to keep playing. They seem to come out of the 1 seed would be nice, but I got the vibe that this team needs to keep playing. They seem to come out slow after the bye.
Okay,
it looks pretty good after the bye to me.
He's saying. Yeah. If
you're talking about the Minnesota game. I see what you mean.
He's saying if you give him the week off, you know. Now we're getting into kind of baseball playoff territory too, where it's like, is that layoff good for you or not? I think in football more than any other sport it is, just because you're so beat up physically.
Yes, especially in December.
Yeah, and into January, like you're gonna have guys that aren't feeling 100%. You have guys at this point in the season not feeling 100%. So to get that bye. I don't think it's like, you know, baseball is just a different game where it's getting in the rhythm of hitting a pitch, batting practice, doing, you know, they're just 2 different sports where I don't put as much value in terms of the layoff hurting you like I do in baseball.
Noah in the chat, or Noah in the text chain said getting this one is huge. They didn't win this game last year because Ben Johnson wasn't preparing for the game. I'll die on that hill.
I
just refuse to believe that he just like for a whole week was like, no, I'm just not prepping, not invested into this one. I don't think I won't buy into that one. Sure, other stuff was on his mind, but like, I mean, think about it from your perspective.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I do a radio show. I care about it every single day. It's not the only thing that's on my mind the entire day, you know. Yeah. I don't blame him for, you know, looking. I don't like the fact that you can take interviews during your time in the playoffs. But at the same time, like, what's the alternative? These teams need to hire new coaches.
You wait.
Unless we just ban them from interviewing coaches until the playoffs are completely over.
Yes.
That would never – people would interview people way under the table, though.
I would if I were to enact 2 rules right now, Ben, and both football, one in the pros, one in college. You can't Like, that's the punishment of sucking, right? You get a number 1 draft pick in the NFL. You can't interview your coach until that coach is eliminated from the playoffs. That would be rule number 1. Second rule would be these college teams, and this is more so in college basketball than in college football, but you don't make the NCAA tournament, you can't talk to a coach. There might be speculation, there might be a rumor, we can't control that. You cannot talk to a coach while they're still in the NCAA tournament or any postseason tournament, whether it be the NIT, the CBI, the whatever. I would enact those rules because you know my sticking post with this. I hated that Will Wade completely bailed on his team. Like, Ben Johnson didn't, right, and that's what brought this topic up. Will Wade did with college basketball and basically was like, yeah, brought this team to the NCAA tournament, but I'm leaving for another job. Screw you guys. Like, told his team to his face that he doesn't care about them. And that's what happens in the college landscape, and that's why the transfer portal is the way it is in those sports. Like, those are the 2 things I would enact. If you're the NFL, you got to wait. You suck. You fired your head coach. Too bad. Like the Giants right now, right? They fired their head coach, Brian Dable. Kafka's not the answer, but you have an interim, and you have that interim until you can hire someone who's out of the playoffs. No interviews, no nothing.
I've got a college basketball rule that I'd like to be changed.
What is that?
Based on last night's Michigan game.
What is that, bad review?
No.
Actually,
you know how much
good?
I hate reviews, but no, that's not the one I'm talking
Okay.
about. I'll tell you what that rule change is when we come back. You guys can see us on YouTube right now if you're not already on there, and you can see the difference at Midland Eye Care, where your vision is their focus, offering comprehensive eye exams, glasses, contacts, and advanced eye health services. Friendly, knowledgeable staff and a wide selection of stylish frames for every face and budget, locally owned and trusted by families throughout the Midland area, while offering comprehensive eye care services and in-demand lenses and frames. Whether you're updating your prescription or checking in on your eye health, they've got you covered. Book your appointment today and start seeing clear tomorrow. That is Midland Eye Care.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Since 1940, Yiter Insurance Group has been a trusted friend to generations of your neighbors in the Great Lakes Bay region and across the country. Proudly representing auto owners insurance, we're licensed in nearly every state, so no matter where life takes you, we got you covered. And because we're an independent insurance agent, we don't believe in one size fits all. We work for you to find coverage that fits your life, your family, and your business. That's why families and businesses have relied on Yiter Insurance and auto owners for peace of mind. Yiter Insurance Group, local roots, national reach, and always your friend in the insurance business.
Is the air in your home dry? Are allergies bothering you? Tired of itchy skin and static everywhere? We have your answer. Answer Heating and Cooling can install a whole home humidifier that keeps your air balanced, your skin comfortable, and your family breathing easier all winter long. Say goodbye to static shocks and hello to comfort. Call Answer Heating and Cooling today or visit AnswerSOS.com. Answer Heating and Cooling, the home of simply outstanding service.
I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Edward Jones is a proud supporter of high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region.
Call Kevin Spencer, your local Edward Jones financial advisor in Midland, 989-832-8428, or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. The leaves are falling down. Make the cleanup easier on yourself. Save $20 instantly on select Craftsman V20 brushless outdoor power equipment kits. Select Milwaukee Power Tools, buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. And a steal of a deal on an Ace gift card. Free $10 gift card when you buy a $50 gift card.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Car to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on The Mid. Welcome back in. All right. That college basketball rule that I was referring to, that I wanted changed. So last night, Michigan calls a timeout after grabbing a rebound. It's tied. It's about to go into overtime. But they have like 1 second left. I think it was 0.9 seconds left to get a shot off. If you call a timeout, why are we not advancing the basketball? Why does this have to be out of full court? Can we all agree that buzzer beaters are good? Buzzer beaters are fun. We want teams to have a chance to win the game. And it would be way more exciting from a viewer standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, if you got an opportunity in the half court to inbound the ball after you call a timeout to advance the basketball forward, just like the NBA. Why are we making teams do this out of full court when there's like, I don't know, how much does that decrease the chances of a game-winning basket, of a buzzer beater? By 90%? No one's going the full distance of the court in 9 seconds and putting up this half-court, three-quarter court shot to win the game. You call a timeout, advance the basketball. Okay, we actually have a real shot with 1 second left to get a good look off. I don't know why we insist on that not being a rule in college basketball, that you get to advance the basketball after a timeout in these late stages of the game, because I think we can all agree that'd be better for the viewer.
Sure. You establish possession, and you're able to move the ball up if you call a timeout. I'd be in favor of that. My main takeaway rule-wise yesterday was the
coach's challenge?
Was it towards the tail end of the game in regulation where they wanted to put more time on the clock and then took forever to deliberate on that? That was ridiculous. I think it was before Michigan or before Wake Forest could have won the game in regulation. They get the rebound, and then there was a timeout, and then they were establishing how much time was left on the clock. It took forever. I was like, oh my gosh, like let's speed this along. We're talking about 0.2 of a second here, and it was obvious off of the first replay. But I agree with you too in terms of that. Like full court buzzer beaters happen too. I get it, but you won the defensive series. You call a timeout, and if it wasn't like this in the pros, but it is. Move the ball up, advance it. It'd lead to more fun finishes, which is what college basketball is all about.
I do like that there's now a coach's challenge. And you would think from my standpoint, like the guy that hates reviews ruins the game of basketball, I would dislike it. But it prevents the refs from being like, I don't know what happened. Let's go look at it just because.
Yeah.
Now the refs don't do that, and the only way they're going to go review something is if the coaches challenge it. But I'm pretty sure Michigan convinced them to go look at the clock without actually calling a challenge.
Well, was that an overtime? Because Panetti said on the broadcast, he was talking about how, I said that, there's a coach's challenge. There are no coach's challenges in overtime.
Oh, there's not?
Yeah, he made a point of that, that he said it was, coach's challenge because that's what he was told in his headset or told from the official that came over to the table. And then he's like, wait a minute, there's no coach's challenges in overtime, so why are they looking at this? That was a part of it, too, yesterday.
Benetti was great on the calls, by the way.
Big time
fantastic.
feel. We talked about how, or a little bit, but maybe more off air than on air, but Chrysler Center would have been a true home game. It's a neutral site game, which is unfair to Wake Forest, and the atmosphere would have been better at the Chrysler Center. Benetti and Raft made that big time. I turned it on here in the studio because I was producing the Northwood Coaches Show, and I'm like, let's go, Benetti and Raft. That got me fired up for what was beginning of the first half action of Michigan Wake Forest.
And they leaned into being in Detroit. They were bringing up a bunch of past fighters, hockey players. Yeah. Chuck Daly, a bunch of stories about him.
It was
fantastic call from those guys yesterday.
That's why Raph was great too. And then calling Mara the Statue of Liberty at the end made me laugh so much too. He's like, he's not quite the Statue of Liberty, but he's as close as you get. I was like, who else comes up with that stuff, man? There's no one else that comes up with that stuff. It would have been better if he was from France. He's from Spain, Mara, but point still stands. That was a great line. But yeah, all around, except for the in-studio updates, it was a pleasant viewing experience.
I feel like basketball in general now is just the way it's being covered right now compared to even just a year ago with the NBC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Amazon Prime coverage for the NBA is, I feel like I'm watching it in 8K. I feel like I'm watching it. I'm not even kidding. Like,
I know.
The score bug, the camera quality, like even that compared to a FanDuel Sports Network broadcast. I mean, granted, Amazon has a gajillion more dollars, but I feel like I'm watching an 8K movie when I'm watching the Friday night Amazon Prime game. It's outrageous.
Yeah, the only time I've watched Amazon Prime game was at the best bar in Midland, of course, North Social, and I couldn't believe the picture quality. Like, to your point, it was Lakers versus whoever. The picture quality was fantastic.
And I just like the way NBC's covering it. You know, they're actually teaching people the game of basketball compared to just like doing he needs to step up the whole thing. This guy needs to play better. No, this guy needs to play better. They're actually like breaking down film and like, kind of going through it. And then on the college basketball side of things, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like the coverage for it has just been really spectacular this season between Fox and ESPN. And, I had the quad box going last night. There's just so many games on. I feel like college basketball in general is probably the best it's been since prior to COVID. Because it feels like COVID really ruined college basketball for a couple years. All the best prospects were going to overtime elite like the Thompson twins, or they're going right to the G League. Nobody was actually playing college basketball. All these guys were coming from overseas. Now you see the guys from overseas coming to play college basketball. Now you see, instead of going to the G League Ignite team, which doesn't exist anymore, people are just going back to college basketball. Like, we have 3 guys now that are just elite prospects in NBA terms playing college basketball this year, in addition to a ton of other guys that are super fun to watch. I feel like college basketball right now is just as good as it's ever been.
Yeah, there's still the lack of star quality. That's the only point I'd push back on with that. But in terms of not being the G League's where all the best players go, or overtime elite, whatever, they've kind of reclaimed that in a way. It's just still like seeing what the star power is, because right now I just general fan, I know St. John's well, I know Michigan State, but if it's who's the best player in college basketball, who's it supposed to be? I don't know off the top of my head.
Boozer.
That's who it's supposed to be. Boozer's son at Duke.
Yeah, Cam Boozer at Duke.
That's my only point. The star power you still need, but that'll come as the season evolves, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the further we get along with this college basketball season, the more I think it'll just rise to the top. Like, even JT Toppin last night for Texas Tech, if you happen to just stay on the Fox coverage and watch that game after the Michigan game. Stojakovic's kid is on Illinois. There's just names everywhere that I think by the time March rolls around, there's just going to be a lot of different characters, and that's all you really want in any sport, really. By the end of it, you just want to know all the characters by the time you get into the postseason. And it feels like college basketball has lacked a ton of characters up until now. And Cooper Flagg was the big name last year, but it felt like there was only one, and now it feels like there's a ton. Lots to learn, but I'd rather have a lot of characters to learn than nobody interesting in college basketball, because that's kind of what it felt like it was for a few years there.
Yeah, you relied on the coaches. You relied on the Izzos, the Patinos, the Mays, the whoever's,
And now we're in this era too, where even even a Michigan team that's maybe the best team in the Big Ten, maybe the 3rd best team in the Big Ten. There's just so much talent across the board. It's okay, they have the Slenderberg kid, they have Yadamera, and I know they're ranked 6, but I don't know, it just feels like every team has NBA players now, which that's why I like college basketball, getting to see some of these prospects. I know some people like it for other reasons, but I don't know. That stretch in the second half where it just got real sloppy and no one could catch the ball, I texted some of my buddies. I was like, what in the college basketball is happening right now?
It was awesome.
Was it?
It was entertaining. That's where we'll always push back on each other.
You like the chaos.
I love that. You put on an NBA game in overtime, you're not the point guard's going to throw it off the small forward's shoulder because he's not paying attention going up the court, and then they're going to turn it over. And that's what Michigan did last night.
No, even in
what
this
teams
win, are more prepared?
How did that happen? Just the end of sequencing of how those final possessions went for both sides. It's just more chaotic, and it's more fun. At least for me. And it might be lack of ball knowledge. That's what you guys always say with the pushback. But for me, the style, for the guys going 100% every minute, it feels like diving after loose balls at a higher rate, everything like that. It's more entertaining for me.
989-837-6125. Let's get back into the mid-morning catch when we come back. Mr. Appliance is your go-to for fast, reliable home appliance repair right here in Midland. From refrigerators and ovens to washers, dryers, and more, they'll get you back up and running. Upfront pricing, friendly tax, dependable service that you can trust. Need help at home or your business? Mr. Appliance is just a call or a click away. Keep your home running smoothly with Mr. Appliance. Schedule service today at MrAppliance.pro.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitts. This month's recipient is Braden Schwartzkampf from Calvary Baptist Academy. With a 3.7 GPA, Braden is a two-sport athlete playing basketball and soccer. He owns a lawn business. He's in the choir, mock election, and wants to be a teacher for his career. Braden gained experience with Teachers for Tomorrow.
I started to teach math and tutor kids in that class who were struggling. And then for grammar, I just went around doing spell checks, and I think I taught the class 4 or 5 times. I really enjoyed being able to help the kids out and just impact their life in a way. It was a really cool experience.
Next fall, Braden will continue his academic and athletic career studying and playing basketball at Spring Harbor College. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
When you want NFL football on the radio.
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
You know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play.
We can never lose our competitiveness. Thursday night football is here.
AFC East clash, the Jets and Patriots in Foxborough. Drake May is getting MVP chatter. And hey, the Jets are coming off a win. Coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. John Vicari producing for us today, pinch hitting for Mr. Sandel. down in Florida. I don't know if he's left yet, but that's where he's headed. Not for vacation, though. He's working hard.
2 games.
2 games for the CMU Chippewas, who are in action today. It's Maction. Maybe that hits the mid-morning catch. Time to find out.
Oh, it will. It will, most definitely.
The Mits Morning Catch.
Oh, speaking of the mid-morning catch, here it is.
Wow.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Oh, man. Yeah, let's start with what is in action tonight, right? We'll give your guys, the Pistons, a little credit.
Yeah, you mean
right?
You mean the first place Pistons?
Best team in the East. Well, not for long, right? The Knicks are undefeated at home, and they got the Magic tonight. But for the good old Detroit Pistons, they're hosting the Chicago Bulls. Chicago is one of Detroit's 2 losses this year, as we mentioned. That was actually in the opener of the season, but a 7-game winning streak for this Pistons team. As we mentioned in this segment, we'll see if Cade is a go tonight. No official word yet. They play in the in-season tournament on Friday. Have a day off in between. But tonight in action, 2nd game of a 4-game homestand. In terms of your opinion here, Ben, I guess it's kind of tough if we don't know if Cade's going to play or not. But, man, let's keep this winning streak going, no?
I'm willing to sacrifice the winning streak for a win on Friday. I really am.
That's
I want
bad.
the Pistons to be in the postseason tournament or in the in-season tournament. I want them to play in the knockout stage. Note today, though, the Pistons are breaking out the black and teal jerseys, kind of representing every era of the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Fire Horse back as the midcourt logo and a little bit of a rebranded version of it. Should be really fun tonight to see Dennis Jenkins roll out there as your starting point guard.
Ah, my guy, St. John's. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do we rank these uniforms? We're going to look at them now.
It's the best Pistons uniform I think they've had since the original Teals.
Wow. So would you be in favor of switching full-time?
No.
All
I think the classic blue and red is good, but it's good to have a nice City Connect, and that's what they're breaking out tonight. I wouldn't be opposed to a little bit of a rebrand. They need a new logo, man.
Really?
The logo's so bad. It's the worst logo in sports.
It's the old one.
No.
It's the one when they were in the 90s.
It's
late
an
80s.
updated version of that, and it's bad. It's the worst logo in sports.
Really?
Yeah.
Worst logo in sports. I don't think I've ever heard that from you. That's crazy.
It's terrible. It's just a basketball, and it says Detroit Pistons. Oh, my 3rd grade cousin could have came up with that.
Pistons again in
See
action
what
tonight.
ChatGPT thinks. Let's see if they can
God,
make
who cares? Might as well have them as co-host.
Maybe I will. Let's see if they can come up
Wow.
with better logos.
We should do Friday show. You should do a segment Friday show as ChatGPT is the guest host. See how that goes.
Three better logos for the Detroit Pistons. I wish we could get this up on the screen.
Design it. Well, you can turn your camera around. In the meantime, in terms of other teams.
Oh, it won't do it.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, because it's in bed with the NBA probably. Oh, we can't do that. We like silver too much. Sorry. See? Filtered right there, ChatGPT. They're probably like, oh, that's copyright. Or you know what? I could tell Jesse Young downstairs here at Great Lakes at the Loons, hey, design a new Pistons logo for us, and he could do it. Can he publish it? No.
In
Look,
12
he could do
seconds, he could come up with a better logo than what the Pistons have right now.
Wow.
They should have
Jesse
the
is
horse.
good.
They should have the horse just stick around.
All right. Big horse guy. Other teams in action tonight. How about some action? Central Michigan, Buffalo. There you go, Austin Johnson, who wanted it in the group chat, in the YouTube chat. 2 5-4 squads tonight. If CMU wins, they're going to be solidified top 4 in the MAC. Drinkall's first season, and doing that's pretty darn good. They'll get a 6th win, too, which will get them into a bowl. Of course, that feels like a certainty just based on the fact that they play Kent State next. But, hey, it'd be nice to get today. It'd be nice to win out, too, and have an 8-4 campaign for the Chippewas. But they're in action tonight. Ben Bosscher is going to be on the mic. Ben, you're looking forward to it, man. Have any hard names on Buffalo, or you haven't even looked at a roster yet?
Don't know. Haven't looked. Just got sent the script as the show was going on.
Really?
So, yep.
Really? So you have no clue, huh?
No, usually I don't look at the names. I don't usually look at the names of the other team until I get there and can talk to the AD, and then not the AD, but some SID, and then I can run through pronunciations with him. But now I'm just boring everyone, so let's move on.
You weren't boring me. I thought that was interesting. Again, those are the two things in terms of local sports tonight. You also have Oakland against Houston in terms of college ball. After playing number 1 Purdue, they're going to play number 2 Houston as their next game in men's college basketball.
What is Campy thinking?
He's got the best team he's had in years. Why not test him? There you go. In terms of NFL news, we didn't get to this in the first mid-morning catch, but it was announced pre-show today. The Giants are going to turn to Jameis Winston as their quarterback. Now, conflicting reports, because you got the notification, as did I, from The Athletic, that it's is 2 in the depth chart, and if Dart's a no-go, then Winston will start. But the New York Daily News, ESPN, saying Winston's the starter. I would find it hard to believe that Dart's going to play this week, so I think the Giants are rolling with Winston. Do you give him any shot against the Packers, Ben?
Yeah, the Packers suck. They just lost to the Panthers. And if Jameis goes in there and wants to chuck 1,000 balls down the field, then yeah, they're going to have a chance to win. I don't know who's going to be catching them. Somehow Darius Slayton's still a Giant after all these years, but yeah, I think they have a chance.
Why is Slayton catching a stride, dude?
I don't know.
He's great. So is Wan'Dale Robinson.
Okay.
And Theo Johnson, too, underrated tight ends. Come on. Yeah, so Winston going to start against the Packers. That's the belief, and we'll see how that goes. It's a 1 o'clock game. Of course, we'll have our NFL spread picks on tomorrow's show. Even with Pal not here, we'll have his picks. We'll have mine, and, of course, good old Benny Bosch. In terms of last night, college football playoff was announced. We've gone over it, and Ben talked about why 2 Big Ten teams might be the conclusion when all said and done. But right now, in terms of the playoff, Ohio State's 1, Indiana's 2, Texas A&M 3, Alabama is number 4. And of the Big Ten teams that round out the top 25, Oregon is 8, USC is 17, Michigan is 18, and Iowa is the 21st team in the country. Iowa and USC will be squaring off. In terms of the top 12, Ben, is there anything, I'm sure you have it up in front of you, is there any team that you would put over another? Is there any mistake from the committee based on what they've laid out ahead of this upcoming week?
No, I think this is in the top 12.
Anywhere. I mean, if you have a problem with, Michigan should be higher, then say it.
No, I don't.
The floor is yours, Senator.
I don't think they should be a top 12 team or anything like that. I thought BYU was pretty bad in their game against Texas Tech. So I don't know why they're still in the top 12. It's not like that's a team that's worthy of being in the playoffs right now, even with the 1 loss.
They have a win against Utah.
I don't really have too many. Well, Utah, I don't think they're very good either. No, I don't have too many problems with the way that it's ranked right now.
All right. We talked about this earlier. NBA All-Star Game is being reformatted. Some clarity with that. 3-team, 8-man rosters is how it's going to go. Fans, media, and players will pick the starters. That's going to be positionless in terms of the starters. So it could be 4 guards and a center. It could be a lot of big men. But the key is having 1 international team and then 2 American teams. You mentioned earlier, if you had to pick it right now, I wish there was odds for this, but there's not, of course, because we're way too far out. The games will be in February, of course. But you would pick the international team right now just based on the caliber of player they're expected to get.
I would put Rent on it.
Oh, my God.
It's the 5 best players in the league all on the same team. Why would I not? Jokic, Giannis, Wemby, Luka, and SGA. I don't know. You can field any team ever. I don't know who's beating them.
Wow. All right. I'm gonna be intrigued, as I said in the first morning catch about this. The fact that it's going to be airing at 5 p.m. on that Sunday in February. It's going to be after a USA hockey game in terms of in the Olympics. And NBC, who we talked about in the previous segment, better NBA coverage. They're going to lend their voice to the All-Star game for the first time in forever. The first time since Jordan, in terms of, I think, his last All-Star game is a Bull with Bob Costas, I believe, if we were to go back. Final thing, it just came across the docket now, but a quote from Sharon Moore I want your opinion on. Talked about with Nick Saban. He says, sometimes when you call Coach Saban, sometimes it's like you don't know if he really wants to talk to you. Do you think that's a Shamor problem or a Saban problem? Would you want to talk to Sharon Moore if you're Nick Saban?
I don't know why he would be doing...
Why is Sharon Moore calling Nick Saban?
Why Sharon? No, I understand that. If you're a head coach, like I'd be wanting to pick Nick Saban's brain all the time. But there's also, like, if I'm Nick Saban, it's like, why am I trying to help out Sharon Moore? I don't know. I probably wouldn't want to talk to Sharon Moore either. How can I motivate these? Do you think this blue collar is going to work to motivate these guys? No, Sharon, probably not.
Do you think that was the main topic of conversation?
I don't know.
Sharon saying, hey, get us on game day. Going to Pitt and Notre Dame. What are we doing?
Yeah, come see us whoop on Northwestern at Wrigley Stadium this
Wrigley
weekend.
Field, but yeah.
Wrigley Field this
Dude,
weekend.
that's going to be sick. That's a big noon kickoff right there. That's cool. I'm looking forward
It's
to
just
that.
not a good game.
No, but the aesthetic,
Put a good game there. I guess Northwestern has like no stadium at all right now, so maybe
They
all
play
their
on the
games
water.
Yeah, at a construction site.
It's awesome.
It's something. Okay, let's do our two traditions to close every show when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on the Mid. If you've got boring floors or a sad shower, Premier Tile and Stone is here to rescue your surfaces from the snooze zone. These folks turn tile into art. Kitchens, bathrooms, backsplashes, fireplaces. If it holds still, they'll tile it beautifully. Locally owned in Midland, but their work looks like it belongs in a magazine that charges $15 an issue. A giant selection of fancy stuff. I'm talking porcelain, ceramic, natural stone, and materials you probably can't even pronounce, but you'll definitely love. Stop dreaming, start scheming. Visit the showroom and let your inner interior designer run wild. There's Premier Tile and Stone, where your floors get fabulous and grout gets glorious.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Rexy Siding and Building Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have them fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mid Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the MyPros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness now, I think it's been probably 4 years ago.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mid. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Hear that? That's not Goff throwing a touchdown. That's your retirement crossing the goal line. I'm Doug Cellini, your financial quarterback here in Midland. My job is to make sure every part of your financial life works together. As a fiduciary, I'm not tied to one firm's playbook, so you get flexible fees, more choices, and advice built entirely around you. Call Doug Cellini at 989-214-4444, and let's make your financial future a win.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with a Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh? Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at PremierTileStone.com.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid, for the most passionate fans in Michigan. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, From Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mid is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, the first tradition we have every single day around this time to close out the show is our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the Day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Today, I'm going back to the well. Yesterday, we took the Thunder spread against this Warriors team. It was 7.5. I didn't even think Curry was playing. He ended up playing, and it didn't matter. Oklahoma City's defense clamps down the Warriors. They put up 126. They cover that 7.5-point spread. I think I'm just going to go back to the well today. Golden State off the back-to-back. They're playing the second-best defensive team in the NBA in the San Antonio Spurs with Wemby on the floor. They're not off the back-to-back, so they're going to be rested going into this one. I think I'm just going to take the Spurs spread on this one, Mr. John Vicari.
That's a good call, dude. There's not much I'm going to say in terms of pushback. I was surprised, like you said, that Curry was playing because it made it sound like yesterday that it was no shot he was going to play.
He had missed a couple games prior.
But yeah, I'll ride with you, dude. I'm not gonna fade you. You're coming off a pick that worked last night, fading the Warriors. Why should I stray from it? If you're that confident to double down, second of a back-to-back two, and if everyone's scared of this in-season tournament and being healthy for that, then I'll take the younger roster, which is San Antonio.
Well, I don't think I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to be able to do his herky-jerky, like try to get people up in the air and then get his and ones or get to the free throw line with Wemby rolling it around down there. Because I think the Spurs guys, if you watch the Spurs games this year, no one else jumps and tries to foul the jump shooter. And Jimmy Butler's probably better at it than anybody of like doing the double pump fake and trying to get someone in the air, try to get to the line. You don't have to jump because Wemby's just standing there and he's going to block your shot whether he jumps or not. So I think Jimmy Butler's going to struggle today. Curry obviously could get things going, but this Spurs team is young on the outside, on the perimeter. They've got a bunch of guys who are going to be up for the challenge. I don't really think anybody's afraid of Steph Curry anymore. Don't get me wrong. He's still like one of the best players in the league, but I don't think anyone fears him the way that they used to. And if they can lock down this defense and protect the rim, I don't know how much Draymond Green Defensive Player of the Year is doing against Wemby. So I'll take the Spurs here.
I like the call. I forget what company it was, but there was maybe it was Uber Eats. I don't know. Who cares? But Draymond, funny spot in a recent commercial where it's like, I'm a nice guy, and everyone's
the Santa one.
Is that what it was, Santa? Because I saw the Santa Claus one with Anthony Edwards. That was actually pretty funny.
It's a commercial where
right there. I forget what that was.
I don't know what it is, but it's like Santa's telling people whether they're on the naughty or nice list, and everyone's on the nice list. It's like, Tyrese Maxey, you broke ankles. That's not nice.
Yeah.
But that move was nice list. And then Draymond rolls around. He's like, not again. I don't know what that commercial's actually for, though, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, Draymond's like off to the side, like, is it me? And they're like, no, get out of here.
Yeah. No.
Santa's not a fan.
No, you're a bum. Get out of here.
Santa Claus is not a fan. Santa Claus is not a fan. So
I don't know what that is for. Maybe it's Sprite. I don't know.
Santa Claus is Sprite. My boy Ant Edwards. But yeah.
He replaced LeBron. LeBron's no longer the Sprite guy. I don't think he's been the Sprite guy for a few years.
LeBron's got Hennessy now,
Oh, he's got the spicy Sprite.
Remember the decision too? That was great.
Yeah, that was good. Hopefully he plays at some point this season.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Do you have an update for what I am on the week and on the season?
Oh, of course, dude, because I was shared the lock of the day sheet. Do you really want me to say total units down what you are, though? Kyle always just pounds on you for that.
No, you can skip that.
All right.
Give me November.
November. You are you're up 0.86 according to this document that I updated today.
That's pretty good.
0.86. You started with 2 losses last week and rallied off 3 in a row and are 1-1 on the week. So still up overall in the month of November, which is pretty good. Plus 0.86 in terms of the units.
And we're going back to the well today.
Yeah.
Out on the Golden State Warriors. In on the San Antonio Spurs to cover their spread. So, all right, that is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Now, you know what would be helpful here, Ben?
Sure.
What the score for you and Kyle are with the coward thing, because I don't have access to that.
You don't need access to it. It's a part of it's in the it's one of the graphics that pops up.
Yeah, but the score says 0-0.
Oh yeah, that's wrong.
You have to update the score. That's what I'm saying. See?
I think I have like
6 or 7.
104. Kyle
really?
Like 6. We'll just have to keep track of it throughout.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever it was last year, it was my bad. I just didn't look yesterday in terms of what the score was then. That was my bad.
All right, let's just guess. We got to guess what Colin's going to open with.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not even Kyle. Maybe it's a whole different score. Maybe I don't even
Sure.
help Kyle because he was telling me in the YouTube chat. He said I've trained for this. I've not trained for this.
Okay, it's good. Wednesday is always a tough day to predict because there's no football on. A lot of college basketball last night. I don't know if that's going to open up the show. I don't even know whose turn it is to go first.
Wow, so you don't even remember yesterday. Man, yesterday's show must have been really memorable if neither of you guys remember anything from it.
I don't remember anything I say on any of the shows.
That's good.
The show gets done, and I'm like, I talked for 3 hours. I don't remember everything I said. I don't remember anything I said most of the time.
Yeah, people are starting to see, Kyle does a lot for this show. He does. Keeping everything sorted.
Yeah, of course he does.
How about I go first?
Sure. I'll allow it.
He'll allow it. Maybe he talks. I really don't have a conviction, too, so I should have probably let you go first. But
nice.
Maybe he talks Giants and Winston. Maybe there's just second chances, something along those lines. There's not really anything that jumps out to me today. Is there an NBA storyline I'm missing, Ben? Is there an NFL narrative? Like, Patriots-Jets tomorrow, but it's tomorrow, not tonight. It's not like, all right, we could do a Drake May Open or we could talk. Like, I don't think there's anything that's bringing him in right now. The Cowboys don't go till Monday, so there's nothing really there. Maybe he gives Winston a bone.
Usually I'd go to Twitter and see what's trending.
Yeah.
As like a cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Harrison Jr. just underwent appendicitis surgery and is out this week.
No.
I'm dead serious.
That just broke?
Yeah.
Damn.
Within the last few minutes.
Dude, my trade deadline, my fantasy league is in 2 hours too. I was looking to deal Marv. Now
2
I can't.
hours? Why is it not at the end of Monday night?
It's at 2 today.
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
I don't know.
How could it be at the end of Monday night? You're already in a week. How could you trade the players?
Ours is the second the Monday night game is done.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to be playing for the Cardinals this Sunday, and possibly even longer. I don't think that's worthy enough, and it's also too quick of a turnaround to open up with.
It's one of those.
I just wanted to say that.
No, that's good. You're doing your job as a sports host. It's just one of those days that, like, he'll find something to extrapolate some topic, but there's not an obvious one that comes to me.
So what was your actual guess?
I'll say Winston.
Okay.
He just talks about the Giants and Winston.
Yeah, I'll just say J.J. McCarthy.
Great. Yeah, Gary in the YouTube chat was like, "Yeah, Mahomes or Caleb." Like, yeah,
He doesn't open with Mahomes all that often. He really doesn't.
We'll just pick a quarterback.
It's usually the NFC North quarterbacks. I'll just go J.J. McCarthy. The Vikings got to figure their stuff out. Classic, just a classic Colin Cowherd bit. I don't think it's
really selling the show well today. Really are.
He's the smartest man, the most interesting man in sports. That's what they call him. I don't disagree. Usually he says something, I'm like, that makes sense. That does make sense. All right. Appreciate everyone for sticking around today. John's going to be back tomorrow. John's going to be back Friday. This is going to be a very fun week to end the second week of November. Lot to talk about with this Lions game still that's coming up. Friday, we've got the big in-season tournament game as well for this Detroit Pistons team. So a lot of good stuff coming up. How do you think today's show went? Think it went well?
I value myself in terms of the production stuff. I think this was the cleanest one I've done. With Kyle, there was kind of a couple mistakes. I wish I had the correct score. That's the one. That last punch, you always want to be strong, and it wasn't today, so I apologize.
We got KO'd at the end.
Yeah, we got KO'd.
That's okay.
But I think it was fun. Listen, if we're going off my personal performance too, basketball's not my strong suit, so talking a lot of Michigan Pistons, I think I held my own, It's not.
What
it's
is
not
your
my
strong
realm.
suit, John?
I don't know if I have one. Some would say it's baseball, but that's it's definitely not like basketball. I could say that in terms of ranking the four sports. But I think I held my own, and I'm glad we talked Michigan hoops because that was the most exciting thing on TV last night.
They're going to be a fun team to follow this season.
Yep.
That is without a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, appreciate everyone for tuning in. Hey, if you guys are new to the station or new to the channel, go ahead and search us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Facebook swear it's real fun. Wild, wild west out there. So search Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt on Facebook to follow along there. You get exclusive video content, breaking news, a lot of fun polls and stuff to deem fun. At least I think they're fun over on Facebook. So follow us there. Exclusive videos on Instagram, TikTok. Search The Ben Bosscher Show, and of course the YouTube channel. Just search 100.9 The Mitt Sports Radio and subscribe on that end as well. We will talk to you guys tomorrow. Set that alarm. Hit that notification button 9 o'clock so you don't forget it. That's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Hope it was worth it. Talk to you guys then.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.